As the leader of the Booner Pad, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the fuck up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff, Booner, Lukas, and Gentry. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And if you're listening, leave a 5-star review. We appreciate you. It's Friday, October 25th. Hey, it's a good Friday show. We got our pick'ems, which I have our updated records, by the way. I do. We're going to find out who's in first place at this point.
You see if I climbed or if I sunk even more.
Well, Klotz, you didn't.
Last week too.
You didn't pick any games, so you stayed the same.
But I don't know what we never updated it after that week. Like
I got your score without last week, so your record. So
I guess you missed last week, so you didn't see your record. So
yeah,
I don't think I did too good this week, boys. I at least know I wasn't 5-1 again. But
we're about to, and we're gonna do a new thing. First place goes first. We're doing that.
First in the standings go first. We go top to bottom.
That's fair.
First place goes first. But fellas, hey, big show today. NFL Pick'em. We're gonna get into Josh Pascal being out. Pistons are playing right now. Don't let them get hot. I don't know what the score is. Last time I checked, they were in the lead.
No, it changed.
Okay, well,
they're pretty. Money line is when I last checked was minus 700.
No.
I swear to God, I was trying to, because I forgot to put the parlay in before the game, and I looked, like, the game started, and I was trying to do, like, live lines, and, yeah. I mean, they're right. They're not getting blown out. They're down by 5. I think it was 24-19.
Oh. Well.
The Pistons?
Yeah.
Is it?
Pistons are up.
Oh, they are? Okay. I got to turn the game on.
They closed it. Yeah, they were down. It was 24-19.
All right. There you go. All
right, the money line is now minus 430, Jeff.
We need that 1-1 record to head into tomorrow against the Celtics. When we're there, we'll be in the building. I can't wait for that. That'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we get to watch a win. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Long season ahead for us.
Back to back. Who knows?
Yeah, back to. Don't let them go back to back. Do you guys see the Lions hangover rumors? You know what that is?
Yeah. Yep.
I just found out what it was like yesterday. I didn't know it was a thing. There's actually data backing it. And Adam Schefter, it reached Adam Schefter's attention. I did not know this was a thing. All right. So basically, what it is teams who play the Lions lose the next week. They're 0-5. Look at Rams lost to the Cardinals after the Lions beat them. Bucks lost to the Broncos after the Lions beat them. Cardinals lost to the Commanders after the Lions beat them. Seahawks lost to the Giants. These are bad losses, by the way.
They're tough. They're tough.
They lost during the bye week, and then the Vikings lost to the Rams after. So yeah, Cowboys, they somehow lost during the bye week. So we'll just go with that, and they'll probably lose. It
was even like this last year. It might have not been this many in a row, but it was a thing where it's the Lions would just drain people. I think physically, they just it shakes you up. It's we thought we were a good team and we just got manhandled. And then it's all right, we got to figure this out. It's like a little cloud. It's a little hangover. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, and most of these teams right here are playoff teams losing to non-playoff teams outside the Cardinals losing to the Commanders. But these are all good teams, playing a favorable matchup the next week and still dropping the game. So like Lukas said, they might just be shook after that loss to the Lions.
Lions taking the will away.
That was the only reason I bet on the Rams yesterday was because of that. This has been going on for a couple of weeks. After week 3, I think people started to notice it. I think it was so funny with Jeff. Jeff's this has made it all the way to Adam Schefter's desk. I've never heard someone say something like that before. I've heard this for the last 3 weeks. After the Broncos game, I think people started talking about it, and then it just started becoming a thing. And it's it's a legit. It's a legit thing. That was the only reason I bet. Obviously, all of those the people returning for the Rams, but it felt like it was if this thing's real, let's make some money off it. And they were plus money yesterday. The Rams were. It felt like an easy bet.
And I think the Rams and Puka coming back, and then you look at even Juwan Jennings is out. Like the Rams could make a serious push to win the NFC West. I think
this guy always brings up Juwan Jennings. It's one of the
I'm saying extent of
this
how
man always
Niners
finds
are.
It's not
Because
even Debo's out. Debo's out this week. This
You
man
already
isn't
knew-
even be
you
like,
already
with
knew that
Debo
he was
out. This
out.
man goes with Juwan Jennings out.
You already the whole thing is
Debo
like, you already
Samuel.
know Debo
Debo
is out.
Samuel's out. Yeah, class. And your guy you bring up is, hey,
Boom.
Juwan Jennings is out. That's
Boom.
unbelievable.
Hell of a player.
Boom. Debo was already considered out. Juwan Jennings was the guy that was considered to be like the one active wide receiver, the one soul on the outside. So that's why I was saying
Man always finds a way to bring up Juwan Jennings. It's so impressive, bro. I respect it.
This guy.
I mean, Debo Samuel just literally is going to be out for the game. He's like, hey, Juwan Jennings is out. They might have a chance to win the division.
Well, I could have been like Brandon. I'm saying the one guy that they thought could have been active this week was Juwan Jennings.
I mean, if we're talking about them winning the division, Brandon Ayuk a couple days ago is out for the season. Like he literally is out for the year. Why don't we bring that up?
He's not
He
Juwan
wasn't
Jennings.
doing jack shit before.
We're not talking just this week, though, Klotz. We're talking about winning the division. If we're going to win the division, all right, Juwan Jennings, he's out for this week. How about that, boy?
Dude, I didn't know this. Like I guess it comes down to like the physicality. I guess that's like the Lions. They're just beating the like manhandling teams. I mean, they've been blowing out teams lately, but I guess it's just like after they play the Lions, they're so mentally and physically drained that the following week they just don't have it in them. That's like that's like a badge of honor, dude. You're just the will is gone from all these teams. And to your point, now the Rams taking down the Vikings. I know the face mask thing was like the big storyline there at the end.
That was crazy.
But the Rams, hey, Stafford was dialed. I mean, Puka's back. He looked great. Didn't start him. Klotz, you did. Credit to you. I didn't start him, and I paid for it at 100 yards. And the Rams looked very good. I wouldn't be. I mean, they're a playoff team, but given how the 49ers are falling apart, I read something today where half of Brock Purdy's typical production comes from Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, and Debo, and they could be without all three of those guys. 50% of what Brock Purdy produces as a quarterback in three guys are out.
Ricky Pearsall season.
Ricky,
Lucas.
yeah,
Ricky season.
You better hope Ricky Pearsall, or you better hope George Kittle has it's tight. I think it's National Tight End Day on Sunday.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, that's good to know for betting wise, because tight ends always just go off.
Maybe
on
you got to
ends.
sprinkle a little on George Kittle.
Sam Laporta, Jeff. I told you yesterday. Hey, give me a little Sam Laporta, Tutty. Give me a Sammy P, Tutty.
Wave the flag, Jeff. Wave the flag.
Yeah.
Hey. Jeff said the Sam's not he's going to have a tough game.
Oh, no, he didn't. He did not.
Not on National Tight Ends Day, Jeff. Let me tell you what.
I did not say that.
You're fading the fellow Italian. You know what? Me as a fellow Italian, I'll stick with my Italians and I'll go Sam Laporta. You can go off in your own world and do whatever you want. Must be a fake Italian over there. How about the other Italians on the show? Gentry, do you want to join in on this? Sam Laporta touchdown?
Boone, as a fellow Italian, I'll take Sam Laporta this week.
Klotz, fellow Italian, are you in?
No. I think I've been saying it. I think he's hurt.
This was a bit, Klotzy. This was a bit. You're supposed to say, read the room, brother.
Hey. Usually the loudest one in the room's wrong. That's usually what I take away.
So again, you're saying Sam Laporta's off then. That's tough.
All I'm saying is I'm betting the over. It's low this week. It's like what's Sam Laporta's line? It's like 34.5. Like it's low.
It's moved down. It's 32.5.
We can't get excited for Brock Wright scored a touchdown, Booner. We can't do that.
I'm betting the over, Boone. I will say that on Sam Laporta. 32.5.
Who would have thought Tim Patrick's over-under would be higher than Sam Laporta's? Even though J-Mo obviously missing the week, but who would have thought that would ever be a thing?
That's wild.
Probably Jeff, fake Italian.
Oh my gosh! You know what I call that? To quote Booner, gaslighting. That's what I call that.
All right, that's fair.
That is gaslighting. Yeah. That's what he's doing. That's a low line, insanely low, to be honest. I don't know, like where the production. I guess Jameer's receiving. I would probably sprinkle a little bit too. We'll get into that later. We're going giving out our lines later. Booner's bets at the end of the show. NFL pick'em, all that stuff. Guys, by the way, I saw officially today. We talked about it yesterday. Josh Pascal's out. Okay, he's out. So you know what the Lions are left with this week?
Come on,
Bobby Woo Woo, Isaac Ukwu, We got
Trevor
Cue the
Nowatzki.
sad music.
Trevor Nowatzki. He's yeah, they do. Have
I mean, that was disrespectful.
No,
What was
no,
that laugh? That was
I'm talking about
disrespectful.
On
the
the
defensive end spot.
Trevor's
dude.
a Sam. He gets to the quarterback a lot. He's got to step up,
But,
and he's going to be rushing the
that's his-
quarterback.
We're talking about he's still a linebacker though. He sets it, but we're talking about guys who are playing defensive end.
Talking about,
This guy
hey,
just wants smoke right off the bat, doesn't he?
the laugh. It was the laugh.
I didn't like
We
that
got
slander of
cranky going.
Trevor.
All right,
Gentry,
Trevor
you
Nowatzki.
saw the laugh, right? You saw that was a weird laugh. That was a laugh at Trevor.
Okay, Trevor Nowatzki. All right,
Right,
Trevor
thanks.
Nowatzki. Isaiah Thomas, James Houston, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna put Caden Muhammad. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah, I think I heard Dan call him Al Muhammad.
Al Muhammad.
That's what I
The,
think I in the
practice
press
squad,
conference today.
He got called up. So I say all that to say the cupboard's bare right now. I mean, yeah, and Dan said he was commenting on Isaiah Thomas. He's excited to see him this week. Your guys' thoughts on that situation? I know we're facing like the worst offense probably in the league, but I mean, I guess it's kind of, with all due respect to the Titans, this is kind of a good practice for like Isaiah Thomas, with all due respect. Line him up against the right tackle. The dude can't block, whoever it is on the Titans. Let him get some action. Maybe Isaiah Thomas gets out there, gets a little sack and a half.
Hey,
huh?
I'm not even thinking about Isaiah Thomas can do that. Listen, you know who I want? Isaac Ukwu.
Yeah.
Isaac Ukwu. Fine. Hey, Isaac Ukwu has a chance to go out there this weekend and
do what? What's he doing?
get a sack, something that James Houston, who made the roster over him. I wanted Isaac Ukwu on the roster over James Houston. I hope Isaac Ukwu gets 2 sacks, and I hope that man goes out there and passes James Houston up and earns a role on this team. I think, though, guys, like, first of all, I know Josh Pascal has it's like an illness. This is why you have to go out and get like an edge, is because you don't know, like, is Josh Pascal going to be like, when's he going to be available? Like, this is like his whole career. Is some injuries, sickness, this, that? I don't know. Not like, hopefully everything's okay with whatever's going on. But like what's the saying, boys? Availability is the best ability. And he's out. I know it's probably the best game for him to miss all year. But when you're now a top 2 edge rusher on this football team, we need you. Like, I know it might not be something he is in his control, but it's brutal. It is absolutely brutal. So I don't know. Isaac Ukwu, step up. Isaiah Thomas, step up. And maybe this is the week. I'm not going to say this happens, but maybe James Houston, we finally see something. Maybe we see life out of James Houston. Maybe we do. Versus a bad Titans offense, maybe we see some life out of James Houston, boys. But this edge room, Josh Pascal, again, missing the game. Real interesting.
Thank
What do you think,
God
Bob?
it's the Tennessee Titans. Thank God it's Mason Rudolph, and hopefully we can get this together by Green Bay. But this is why I said, like, for me, the panic button's already been pressed when it comes to this defensive line room, just because it's so, like, the cupboard's bare. And there could be very well a point again where even if you do go get a Zadarius Smith or a player like that, there could be an injury to Levi Onwuzurike, to Josh Pascal, to another player like that. So that's why it's very on edge. I think this defensive end spot is a real problem, and I don't think they're going to be able to get it together with the current group they have. So it's going to be even more of an emphasis to make a move at the deadline. They have to make a move. They have to.
Some background to Josh Pascal's injury, by the way, or not really illness, I guess is the right thing. Is for those who don't know, Josh Pascal actually had cancer at one point, and I guess he does his annual cancer checkup.
So do you think that could be it?
No. I'm not saying that, but he didn't say much about it, but he said he had to get an annual checkup, and he just had to get some things, like, I don't know what he said, like, cleaned up. He didn't really specify what.
Things okay then with that. I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, he said he just had to get some things cleaned up. I forgot the verbiage he used, but it's like, in all seriousness, like, shout out to Josh Pascal. Like, the dude he overcame adversity for that. So
for sure.
So I don't know if like the illness thing, I wanted to give some background on that. Like, he got his checkup and he had to get something cleared up there. So I think he should be good for next week. But to your point,
this is the perfect week for him to miss too. Like, if he, I wonder if that was like a planned thing to where he had to get some checkups and Coach Walk said blood work, all of that. Maybe he had to go in and do that. Maybe this was really like, let's find a week to do it, and the Tennessee week was the way to do it.
And I don't know. Again, I'm not a doctor. It could be blood work. I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know of this type of information. Okay. I'm not going to speculate. I don't know. But anyway, I want to add this to what you're saying about Houston. This is a team in the Titans that aren't going to be able to run the ball. Tony Pollard is going to get a whopping 1.5 yards per carry, and that's just how it's going to be. I know they don't have Aiden, but I'm not just saying that because of how good the Lions run defense is. I'm saying that because of how bad the Titans run, offense is. So I mean, this is a good opportunity for the pass rushers to kind of, pin their ears back, get some sacks. Ali McNeil, maybe specifically, good game for him to go out and have a big day. James Houston, if he goes out there and looks like, hey, a little prime James Houston, maybe he just shows a little flash. Hey, get some confidence back in the man. I don't know.
I love how you say prime James Houston. It was just like his rookie year.
It was rookie James Houston. But who has to benefit the most out of this? Out of all the edges, who has to benefit? I would say James Houston for sure has the most to benefit. Even though I've lost faith in him. Out of Isaac Ukwu or Isaiah Thomas, I think James Houston has the most to benefit on Sunday because of what his stock is to where it can be if he has a big day. He goes out there and gets a sack and a half. You're like, oh, cool. All right, James Houston has a pulse, I guess.
I guess you can call it how it is with James Houston. Like he was on his way off of being out, just being on the practice.
The only reason he's here is because of the injuries. I would assume
if Josh Pascal probably doesn't have this injury or the sickness, I'm sure James Houston's probably the last guy on that, like behind Ukwu and Mohammed too, like and Isaiah Thomas. Like those guys, I'm guessing passed him up or they're in a battle with him right now. Like he's in another battle for a position to be on the roster. So like that's where with James Houston, it's one of those situations where if say Hutch never went down and Davenport never went down, as bad as Houston was, he probably wasn't going to play all year. Like he wasn't. Like they at some point probably were going to go Ukwu over him, or they were going to go someone else over him because he hasn't been good. So like he is getting. This is like, I'm not saying the second chance of his career because I'm sure after this year, if he's not with the Detroit Lions, he's going to be on another practice squad and he's going to continue to have opportunities in the practice squads and training camp throughout the NFL. But in Detroit here, it's like, hey, this is like a little. This is life. Like you have life here. You have a chance to get back in this rotation, like especially with guys hurt and these horrific injuries that have happened. Like go take advantage of it. Like let's see. But again, he had the opportunity a couple weeks ago too, like last week and the week before, and like offsides or fault like neutral zone infraction, like all these different penalties where you're like, what are you doing? Like you have a chance to make something happen. And he's been like the lowest graded PFF player. Like he just has not been, he has shown no life when he's had opportunities to show life. Like that does that not worry you guys a little bit? Like I know we're like, I feel like we're always with James Houston, like he has a chance, here's another chance. And he keeps getting them this year. The man just has not capitalized, not even came close to capitalizing on one.
I mean, I'm not even worried about it anymore because I think you know what the outcome is of this James Houston conundrum. Like James Houston is just not the player that he used to be. I think the injuries definitely took a toll on him, and he's just lost a step. And I don't think James Houston is going to return. I think what we've seen over the last couple of weeks of James Houston is going to be the James Houston of what you continue to see, especially when there's not that much help around him. I don't think he's going to get better now that there's more pressure on him. As far as Bobby Woo-Woo, kind of the same thing. Like he hasn't been terrible out there, but again, I don't expect either of these guys to go out there and start making a name for themselves. And I hope they do. But if we're just keeping it a buck, like that's what we rely on Mekhi Wingo, Levon Enrique, DJ Reader, and Lee McNeil to get to the quarterback this week. Those are the guys. And then like to Booner's point, Trevor Nowaski, the linebackers. But this defensive end, I'm not getting my hopes up whatsoever until I see something. And I really don't think we're going to see anything. It's not even trying to be disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope that he has a pulse, most likely. I mean, unless he just line up against the right tackle. Like when we had Easton on yesterday, the Titans beat writer, he even agreed with that. Like their right tackle situation is very bad. Maybe you can abuse some matchups there with Houston, but I mean, if Houston doesn't have an impact, he's cooked. Like if you can't have an impact against their right tackle or this offensive line, maybe even a rookie and JC Latham, like you're toast. Like that's just how it is. You just got to have a. But I think Isaac Ukwu could even get a sack this week. So it's saying a lot about what James is doing. I mean,
I hope Isaac Ukwu goes out there and dominates, dude. Like him. And another thing, like with the passion, legacy. Hey, woo woo legacy game, brother. I do think
legacy.
I could be so wrong, but like guys like Isaiah Thomas, and they're going to get run, but like some of these people, I don't know. I just feel like Dan and AG are going to have like these opportunities to get other guys like Nowaski and Rodrigo and all these other guys. Like there's going to be so many different options for them to be able to use. I don't think it's going to be a normal pass rush that we see. I really don't, especially versus Titans offense. This is like a perfect game for AG just to be like, all right, how can we put together a pass rush? Let's find different ways here versus the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess for the other side, I guess offense versus like defense, it's a whole nother thing. We'll get to in a little bit. But I want to ask you guys at least some of your expectations for the game. How do you see it playing out? Lions are 11-point favorites right now. Rightfully so. At home. You're going to see some Quandre Diggs. Hey, he's on the Titans, and he's in the Titans secondary. That's the number one overall defense. So as much jokes as we can make about the Titans offense, their defense is a elite unit. Or they have a very, very good – they play – they have that togetherness. Maybe not like they have Harold Landry, Justin Simmons, or Jeffrey Simmons. And they have some L'Jarius Sneed is out, obviously, but they have some pieces there. What do you guys make of the matchup? Some things you're looking for. I guess for me, offensively, you got to keep up what you've been doing. I know it's going to be even harder now with this matchup, but the thing we say every single week is this Titans team has not faced this offense. You know, with the way Jared's playing, he has like the best passer rating over the last couple of games. He's playing lights out. Even without JMO, I don't really expect them to slow too much down. Maybe, a big play a game or two goes away. But they have guys that can step up immediately. And with L'Jarius Sneed out, even though he hasn't had the best season, I do think that's going to help them, obviously. So I think this Lions team is going to dominate. That's how I see it happening. It's really... I mean, how do you let a bad team in the game is turnovers. So I guess when you're looking at it, don't turn the ball over. I mean, that's real. I think that's really that simple, guys. If you do not turn the ball over against the Tennessee Titans, I do not see a path for them to win this game. I really don't. I think they're going to, even though they've been good against the run, again, healthy offensive line once again. Like, what are you going to do with that? So I think this game comes down to, very simply put, the offense versus that defense. Because I think this defense is going to take care of business. I don't really see Mason Rudolph at all being a threat. I mean, they might score 13 points. So it really comes down to the offense. And I expect them to go put they're going to cover by 11. I mean, they're going to win by a couple scores here, especially at home. But this is a team that you don't want to overlook for obvious reasons. And I don't think they will. I think they're going to go out there and just stomp right on them and just get out of there like they stole something. So the offense is where I'm paying attention to, boys, and I expect the offense to be just as efficient. Even if you score 27, it's okay, but they're going to win 27-14. You know what I mean? So that's what I expect out of this game. Absolute ass whooping and controlling the game from the first quarter to the fourth. Just don't turn the ball over. That's really the only thing here. That's how you let bad teams in the game.
Yeah, I'm in lockstep with you. I think the Lions from the first to fourth quarter completely dominate. I think it's going to look very similar to Dallas. I think Tennessee's a worse team than Dallas, but the fact that the Detroit Lions are at home is going to make it even more of an emphasis. But what I'm really excited to watch is, one, I think just the great-on-great matchup to watch in this game is Frank Ragnow and Jeffrey Simmons. But who I'm really excited to watch is Terrion Arnold in this game, because there's not going to be best quarterback play. Mason Rudolph is not the best quarterback, but he's going to have a lot more time than he's used to having with how depleted this Lions defensive line room is. So to watch him on Calvin Ridley, I think is going to be a great matchup. Two former Alabama guys. And I think this could be the week where we see Terrion Arnold get his first interception. If he plays a clean game, that's going to be huge heading into Green Bay when you look at the wide receivers they have up there. So I think the Lions dominate. I think to your point, I think it's going to be another 40-plus, even 50-plus if they can really do it. I think there's a big chance there because the offense is going to be very aware that, hey, we need to lock in. Depleted defensive line, injuries, no JMO. We need to lock in on execution. So I think they're going to be in good rhythm. And then defensively, there's going to be times where it's like, oh, Tennessee Titans shouldn't be making these plays, but that's the benefit of having a secondary like they do right now. And the linebackers, they're going to be all right, and they're not going to be giving up big plays. So I think the Lions win. I'll give it 41, Tennessee Titans 13.
Man gave a score prediction here.
Yeah,
I mean, we've done 100. We've done 100 Friday shows, brother.
Yeah,
man just gave.
Hey, he was out last week.
The man. Hey, he just did the whole show in 5 minutes. In a minute, that was unbelievable. Listen, this is a thing in my mind that it's going to happen here. Do you guys remember last year? There were a couple games where you put average football teams. I'm looking at their schedule last year, right? The Panthers, you win 42-24. I would even throw the Falcons on there at home, 20-6. And then you go down more another game that stands out to me. the Broncos game, 42-17. This is what that game feels like. This feels like that Panthers matchup from last year, like where it's like what the end goal is, like what the score is going to look like, exactly what's going to happen in this game. It feels like as a team as a whole, it's one of those things where it's like it's easy to look ahead, it's easy to like not stay focused. These are the weeks I feel like Dan really has these guys like dialed in. It's like he probably came in on Monday or Tuesday. You guys remember last year when Dan, like, there was times where they felt like it was a smaller week, and Dan, like, no, I came in even harder this week. Like, I made sure the guys knew that this is an important week, and you're playing like the Carolina Panthers, and you're like, what? Like,
yeah, that's Sam Darnold game I'll never forget.
Yeah, like what are we so hyped up for? So like I think like this week, I think it's one of those things where Dan's had these boys like ready to go. Like, here we go, fellas. Like let's make a statement here. You go out there and you win this game by 40. And I think like offensively you dominate. Like defensively you figure things out. Special teams, like go out there, don't give away all of your script, but just try things out this week. Like maybe we see, I don't know if you guys heard it in the press conference from Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson accidentally slipped up. I haven't seen Ben Johnson make a mistake in the press conference ever. I think he made a mistake, and I think it was a big one. Where did you guys hear this? He was talking about their offense and about different like plays that they could do and things that how they go about plays. And he mentioned he looked at all the reporters and was like, I mean, it's like just like how we were throwing that we were doing practicing passes with Penei Sewell, with Penei throwing the ball, and then instantly he was like, "Oh yeah, all right, it's out there now." Penei Sewell was throwing the ball in practice, so he was like, maybe you'll see that at one point this year. No. So like yeah, dude, I've never heard Ben slip up like that. Never heard it. Then that was the first time. So yeah, I don't know. I just think this is going to be a blowout of a game. I know the defense that they have is good. Now you're talking about like L'Jarius Sneed out. So like offensively, the only problems you're going to look at, like the defensive line they have is absolutely stacked. So outside of that, this should be a weekend you come in and take care of business. Head down, grind. Hey, this is the NFL. You got to be a lot. The Booner path, we do not take breaks on the Booner path, boys. We get breaks, Monday, Tuesday. That's when you go get your water, take a step back, and take a break. No, the rest, full gas. What is it saying? Foot on the gas, baby. Foot on the gas.
All gas.
Win this by 40. 40 points.
Score
prediction.
No, Klotzy.
That's on me, boys.
Hey, yeah, this is gonna be an ass whooping. I mean, I think even offensively, guys, like in terms of like the Jared Goff storyline too, and I think this week, I don't know how much this will move the needle for him. I mean, yeah, I guess the defense. I do say I respect the Titans defense, and I don't want to act like this is. I mean, even though we had Easton on yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be an absolute slaughter fest." I hate even thinking about that because watch the game like be close for whatever reason. I think the Lions are the better team. They're at home. The line is what it is. But at the same time, you don't think the Titans are telling, like, you don't think Brian Callahan's going to that locker room like, hey, they think they could just whoop our ass. Like, we're being overlooked here. Like, this defense, they're going to try and step up to the challenge. Mason Rudolph, I just don't let that man go out and look just don't let him slice out this. Just please. I mean, they still got
that would be crazy.
Tyler Boyd. But they still got some weapons. I don't see a path they run the ball well. But the secondary's shown that they'll give up some plays, especially if the pass rush isn't getting home. So that's like, I guess the only thing is like, if you're not pressuring Mason Rudolph, maybe, they move the ball a little bit. But that's like the only really path, I guess. I think
the only way I think they slow you down offensively is that defensive line. Like, that with Jeffrey Simmons, Andre, like that was what Dan said today. Like Dan was bringing that up, and Harold Landry, like Dan was just brought up like that defensive line they have is kind of elite. Like the guys that they have, and they can stop you the run game. They can get to the quarterback. So like that's probably like if you're like, what can they do defensively for you? Like that's going to be like anything on their team. But the problem with that for them is, and this is why I think, what's his name yesterday? I apologize. What's his name?
Easton.
Yeah. Easton brought up, he was like, even if they were like, and even like the Titans were good and they were winning games, the matchups are just brutal because their defense, like their defensive line's elite. Guess what the Lions have on the other side? They have the best offensive line in the NFL with just absolute dudes. And like they have the best running back duel with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. So it's like that happens. And then all right, you have a good secondary, decent corners. All right, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you thought JMO was going to be there, and you have them with Jared Goff playing at it. Like it's just like it's tough. It feels like it's going to be a blowout. And there's no, like Easton said, like typically they stay close up until halftime, and then in the second half, it's like they just fall apart and like the wheels fall off for the Titans. So that's what's kind of brutal.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out. Andrew Jones gifted 5 memberships earlier, so appreciate you.
Shout out, Andrew.
Also, Mike Reed, where you fellas going? Where are you fellas going to be doing the post game show on Sunday? Might stop by, say what's up if it's on the way. This week we'll be doing. We won't be at a bar this week.
Secret location.
Yeah, a secret location. We'll be at the HQ. But next week we're planning to go on the road here. But I don't know how close it is to you, Mike Reed. But we'll let you guys know closer and kind of confirm those details. But appreciate you donating the $5 though, Mike. You're the man. Jags, he says Amon-Ra is a slot merchant and very overrated. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
It's like those
Steven Crowder
videos where he's got the sign sitting down in front.
Yeah, Amon-Ra is a slot merchant. Prove me wrong. I mean, no, you prove me wrong. He's not a slot merchant. I mean, I guess that would be the question.
He killed the Jags last time they matched up.
I do
be a
think
little butthurt about it.
It was kind of funny, guys, that all right. I think the Lions posted a video of Amon-Ra scoring that touchdown, and they were like slot merchant ? But then when we did the replay, like when we were watching live, we were like, "Where do you line up?" And he was just like in the slot, and it was kind of funny. It was like,
I mean, at least Jay, some Jags fan found us. Hey, we'll take that. Appreciate
hey,
that.
Shout out to Jags, baby. You guys are having a great year over there, killing it as always.
Trevor Lawrence, the Prince.
Yeah, what a team you guys have there.
Hey, Jeff's a big Jags fan.
Trevor Lawrence. That take didn't age well though. MVP year last year didn't age well. I'll tell you that.
Not at all.
Didn't age
well. That division's close, boys. That division's close. It's a game. It's a game.
We know who's winning that division. Let's not act like.
Hey, we'll get to that later in the pick'em. Colts versus Texans. I'm curious what Klotz, you better stand on business.
They are as healthy.
Yeah.
His best showing was against those Texans.
Yeah, the Quintez Cephas moment. Don't do that. That was a throw to Alec Pierce. That was the
two of those boys.
All right, it's fair. Well, I mean, in terms of, I guess just staying real quick, I want to mention this: the Jared Goff stuff, MVP race, he's in it this week. I will say, even though the Titans aren't good, boys, if Jared Goff goes out there and rips them up, you got to give that man some love. I mean, it's good defense now. Yeah, I get like who they face, but Jared Goff, we're in this thing. He's in the race. Every performance now is going to be measured. That's how the MVP race works. Every week, guys are going to be battling. Like Josh Allen has the Seahawks this week, and they're going to be facing. I don't know who the Ravens play. I'd have to double check who they play. Now I kind of want to know. The Ravens play the. No, I'll look later when we do pick them. But every week it's going to matter. They play Cleveland, so yeah, good defense. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Every week it's going to matter. So Jared Goff, everyone's going to be stat watching. Everyone's going to be watching what kind of performances he put out there. And, I do think even with L'Jarius Sneed out, this is a good unit. And if this offense can go out there and score and put up their average, which is like 30 points per game, or at least do it in a fashion where Jared looks very well. He doesn't turn the ball over. Maybe he gets like a 3 incompletions like he's been doing, whatever. Maybe he's perfect. Who knows? This is a way to kind of further yourself in the race. Because, I mean, even though the Titans aren't good, you still have that narrative. They have injuries on the defensive line. They're going to rely on their offense moving forward. And if Jared goes out there, dices him up a little bit, it's going to help him. Maybe not a lot because of the record, but the defense, you at least got to put some respect on Jared's name. You got to. That's a good unit.
Yeah, I mean, thus far, outside of like Josh Allen, quarterbacks they've only let up like $170 passing yards average to opposing quarterbacks. So, I mean, Jared Goff's been playing perfect. I still think this is going to be more of an offensive line running back type game. I still think Jared will be calm and collective under center. He's going to limit the turnovers. I don't know if he'll be perfect again, but I still think he's going to go out and have a good game. I think this is going to be more of the running backs, more of the David Montgomery, more of the Jahmyr Gibbs that win it. I don't expect many shots downfield. Obviously, no Jameson Williams. I think calm, collective game out of Jared Goff. Obviously, they have a good pass rush and whatnot. So, just calm, collective game. No shots downfield. Just use the running back. Run the ball, as our famous T-shirt said.
Yep. Death by 1,000 cuts. That's what I'll use.
I like the way you're thinking, because what did we say, and more so Jeff say, at the beginning of the show? The only way the Lions will lose this game is if they turn the ball over. And with David Montgomery, he didn't have a bad game, but David Montgomery kind of had one of his lower games of the year so far, so I think they want to get him going. And Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he's just a guy that they want to keep in rhythm. And when you do that, Jared Goff, he's not going to be throwing for the 300-plus yards this week, but I think he's going to have anywhere from 175 to 200. But his completion percentage is going to be high, probably has two touchdowns, because I think they're just not going to ask him to do much and just keep the game simple, let the defense keep things in front of them, and just wear the Titans down over 4 quarters. There could be some deep shots there, but I just think that what Gentry's saying, a lot of production out of his backfield this week.
Yeah.
All right.
Big game for Jahmyr, huh? Big game for Jahmyr.
I'm gonna look at something here because I'll be the one to say it. Let's stop acting like I love you boys. Let's not act like just because we're playing the Tennessee Titans, Ben Johnson's not going to be Ben Johnson. We've seen Ben Johnson versus the Carolina Panthers and some bad football teams. They're going to go out there and try and win this football game. They're going to make sure Jared Goff threw for 240 and 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions last year versus the Carolina Panthers. He'll do the same thing versus the Tennessee Titans this year. Talking about 175 over there, Klotzy. When was the last time Jared Goff?
Maybe
the last time he threw for under 200 in his career?
Maybe 175 was egregious. Maybe like 200 to 225. I'll give it that. But I just think as far as what we've been seeing of him just lighting it up, I don't think that's what we're going to see this week. I think it's more efficient. Like he could easily have that in 2 to 3 touchdowns, and I'd have a smile on my face. I don't think Jared Goff has to go out there and throw ballistically this week for the Lions to blow him out. I think that you could see easily David Montgomery fall in the end zone twice. Same thing with Jahmyr Gibbs. Right. One of those could be from Goff.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. He easily could do that. They definitely could do that. Ben Johnson, and this is the thing with the Lions, is Ben Johnson's going to keep this offense going. We've seen for 3 straight weeks them put up 40 points and just go out there and dominate, whether it was a good team or not. The Dallas Cowboys were not good when we played them. That defense was terrible. And guess what they did? They ran it up. I versus the Tennessee Titans on Sunday and Ford Field. They haven't been back in Ford Field in over 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks with the bye week. They're going to go out there and score, and they're going to let Jared Goff sling this thing a little bit. And this, guys, when you have a quarterback in the middle of an MVP race, I know you're not going to say, let's force it. There's not going to be a game where you're like, hey, just let him sit back and just hand the ball off 40 times. No, you keep your momentum going. You don't switch up what you've been doing the last 3 weeks, and you go in there and you just be solid. Go do what you got to do. Don't try and do too much and go out there and throw 50 times. And don't try and beat someone you're not and just not let Jared Goff play football. You're going to go out there and you're going to let the man play football. And guess what? If he goes out there and throws for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and they're up by 30 in the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter, all right, take him out. You're good. Game over. Now you're sitting there and let Hendon Hooker get a run in the 4th quarter. I just don't guys. We're a run team, run first team to open up the play action for Jared Goff. That's inevitable going to happen. But Jared Goff's going to get the rock. That man's going to throw 25 times, 20 times this week. And when he throws 20 times, guess what? His completion percentage, he'll be 17 for 20, 17 for 23, 18 for 23. I'm just giving you guys the script. Do what you want.
I don't think you're saying anything where we all said it was going to be. I think Jeff had the closest. I even said in my score prediction, I think the line 41-13. I just think that they score more at will, in the run game.
I get what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying. That's why I just think they're going to keep doing.
That's why you're Jared Goff's not I'm not saying they're going to limit Jared Goff. I'm not saying that you need to.
Well, it depends what kind of score, what it looks like early. If you go up 17-0 in the 1st quarter, they're going to keep running up the score. But if you're up, if it's getting out of hand, it might not be slinging the ball all around the field all game. But if it's close, then Jared, either way, Jared's going to get over 200 passing yards. I think that's 100 hit rate this year. He's had 200 in every game. So.
He had 199 in one game, but that was the Cardinals game, and he threw 23 times.
He'll have 200 yards, but It just depends. I don't think they'll be conservative, but if they're up,
that's where I'm at. Like, they're not going to be conservative. And Klotz, like, you're like, why we don't disagree? Like, no, you do, because you said 175 to 220. Like, that's where our difference is here. It's like, yeah, it's fine if you disagree with me, but it's like, you guys think they might be a little more conservative and run the ball and get out of the game because that's what you could do versus this team. I think they're going to try and keep the momentum on from what they're coming off this 3-week stretch that they've had where this offense has been buzzing. Like, I just don't think they want to lose that juice, especially going into Green Bay. Like, I think that's an emphasis, and in my mind, it would be if I was the coach, Dan and Ben going into the week, like, hey, like, just because it's Tennessee, we don't need to be conservative. Like, we don't need Jared to go through for 200. Like, let Jared just be Jared and go throw for 250 again. Let him go out there and be him, because you have Green Bay next week. Like, it's so easy to get out of of a rhythm in the NFL to where it's like, just because you play a bad team doesn't mean you get out of that offensive rhythm. So I apologize, Jeff. You can continue. That's on me. Sorry. I just want to explain that a little more.
Yeah. I don't. And again, if Jared goes out there and gets like 290 and 3 TDs, like, yeah, I mean, that's going to help.
Jared's line for that game is 233.
Over. Take the over.
So
yeah,
they're kind of under the same impression that me and Klotz are, that he's not going to, be airing it out the whole time. But like 230 is still a respectable amount of yards, and you expect those running backs to have a good game. So I don't think by like doing that, Boone would like kind of throw off the tempo of their offense. I think the tempo has always kind of been built through the running backs and the run game. So I think taking it lighter for a game, even if you call it that 20 some passes, I still think that's fine.
I mean, and Steve, real quick, thank you for the $2, Steve. He says trade for a DN before the Green Bay game, top 3 choices. We all said yesterday, yes, they should get a defensive end before the Green Bay game. Like, top 3 choices, are we doing realistic or non-realistic? I mean, screw it.
Probably realistic.
I would like to have Max Crosby in there, but
let's do realistic. Max Crosby.
I would like to have Max Crosby in there. No, I'll go. I got, dude. It's tough.
Like,
I mean,
injuries, Darius Smith.
Yeah, like Harold.
Realistic.
I guess. Landry, Smith, and hell. I mean, who else is out there? I mean, I don't know. The Trey Andrews things, the Bengals, they better start losing. I don't know, then you have a better hope.
I would love they have this week.
The Bengals have they actually are playing a good team. The Eagles.
Oh, don't let the Eagles.
That'll be a big fest.
To be honest, I think
Smith, Landry, and
Trey Henderson.
Sure. We'll go with that. Yeah. I'll throw Max Crosby in there, but it's probably not.
I think the Trey Hendrickson conversations died down a lot because of the Max Crosby stuff. But I still think that's a realistic opportunity. Like, if they lose this week, and then even if you want to wait till the deadline, who do they play after that? Who do the Bengals play this? So they play the Eagles, and then they play the Raiders. Yeah, that's tough. But I was thinking, like, even if they drop this game, they're sitting in a weird spot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're trading him either way, to be honest. Like, they're just not going to give up their star edge rusher like that. Even if they are 3-5, if they lose this week, I still don't think they're panicking. They're going to go into that Raiders game 4-5. They're not moving him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Someone mentioned a while ago the Bengals in the chat, and it stuck with me. The Bengals don't really make a ton of moves during the season, and it's probably because they have Joe Burrow and they think they can overcome anything. I mean, that's just what I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our top 3 things there. Yeah, I mean, we'll see with the whole Jared Goff. I think, like I said yesterday, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is going to have another big game. I do. I think in the passing game too. I don't know what his line is receiving, but it's probably lower, probably like 26.5 or something like that, maybe 23.5. I would hammer that, to be honest with you.
19.5.
Oh, yeah.
He had 40 last week, 4 for 40.
44 for 44. Tell me he can't get 25?
No, JMO.
A little check down. I mean, especially with Montgomery.
25 plus odds, man. That's good stuff.
Plus odds?
Yeah, 25 is going to be plus odds.
Oh, yeah, because the over-under is 19.5. I'm gonna
plus 136.
Oh, yeah. Take that for sure. Love that.
I like that. Yeah, I do. I think he's going to have a big game here. And I think it's another, like I said earlier, for the defensive line. I think it's an opportunity for those guys to gain some confidence here. Especially like guys like we mentioned earlier, and we kind of talked about it. But, I mean, there's no reason they should walk out of this game and not cover. if I'm being real. If they don't, I'm not gonna panic, but I will be a little disappointed. You know, I think the Titans are one of the worst teams in the National Football League. So, and the Lions, many would say, are the second or first best team in the entire league. So, I mean, we're talking a big difference here, fellas. I know it's still a week-to-week league, any given week.
No, not these games.
This should be an ass.
Especially not with the Lions in these games.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't see it happening. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. All right. I'll tell you what, the second hour, we're going to do NFL pick'em. We'll do the Michigan State game. We'll preview that a little bit later too. Davis Warren was just announced as the starting quarterback. So, Davis Warren.
Boone, this is not good. I mean, not like there was very many other options for us out there, Boone, but I'm not feeling good going into this game, Boone, even though it is Michigan State and they've had their ups and their downs, but our quarterback situation is fucking horrible, Boone.
It's like
makes me not want to watch
chairs. I mean, what would you say? Like musical chairs? What's like a good comp for it? I mean, just different guys every week. It's like what do we do?
What does Booner say about Lucas's top
behavior
10
out of
list?
the offensive coordinator? I would say it's very bipolar. I think that it's called lack of chemistry, lack of culture, and lack of identity, and it's just an absolute collapse. I would call it. I think just a collapse.
Oh, look at Klotz on his high horse now.
Hey, Klotz, you've lost 3 straight years to Michigan. You could sit down and just.
Hey, we were spanking that butt for 15 years before that. I'll let you guys have your little high horse moment of winning that natty. But
when was the last time you won a natty?
16.
All right, sweet. We've won it in 24 and 24.
That was like how long was it? 2,
I don't
3
know.
decades? 2-3 decades for
Who
you
cares?
guys?
We've got the most recent one. You don't. So.
And then we'll have the next 2 or 3.
You have to do it first.
Oh, I know, but it'll happen. It's just a matter of time, Boone. The Brady Hoke era is history repeats itself. The Brady Hoke, Rich Rodriguez days, they're ahead.
No.
They're ahead.
Hey, Rich Rod's cooking wherever he's at. He's at some Florida school. I'm pretty sure he's cooking though. What was that?
Is he at Duke or am I tweaking?
I forgot where he.
Yeah,
they were just talking about him. I don't want to missay it.
Jacksonville State.
Jacksonville State. I knew it was a Florida college.
Jeez. All right, well, enough of Michigan. We'll get to
legend, Rich Rod.
I can't wait to hear your score predictions. Huh? I cannot wait for it. I just can't. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's do we haven't done this in a while. We'll do it now because I think it'll be a fun segment. We haven't done it in a while. Detroit Lions stock market. Who's risers, fallers? Are you buying, selling, or holding? Okay, it's very simple. I'm going to give you some players. You tell me you're buying the stock, you're selling the stock, or you're holding the stock. Okay, and I got some interesting names on here that I think you guys are going to like. Okay, so we'll start our first name. Let me get the music on real quick. The first name I have for you guys. Am I good, by the way? Am I good?
We'll see. We'll let you know if it doesn't change.
Okay. First name, Ali McNeil. Ali McNeil. Buying, selling, or holding? Which way are you guys going?
As far as production?
Yeah, the player. Rising stock, falling stock. What do you think of the stock itself, Klotzy, this year? Where's it going?
I think it's got to be a rise. I don't think it's one where it's like, oh, it's Aiden Hutchinson out, so Lee McNeil's going to eat. I don't think it's like that, but I think they're going to depend more on game planning to get a Lee McNeil to the quarterback because he's the best pass rusher they have, whether it's on the outside or inside. So I think I'm going to be buying it. I'm going to buy a Lee McNeil stock. Boom.
Yeah, I'm going Lee McNeil. I'm going to buy him too. Obviously, still in the contract here. He's going to, or obviously got paid now. So I think that is only going to help his confidence moving forward. Kind of got that out of the way. So, and Aiden Hutchinson being out, you expect Lee McNeil to go out there and kind of increase his role and get some pressure on the quarterback, maybe even get a couple sacks in there. So I'll buy an Lee McNeil.
Yeah, I think you have to buy Aleem. He's been. Not that he's been playing bad, but only 2 sacks through 7 games. Like, you have to buy it. Like, his stock's at the low right now. I made the bet with you guys yesterday, the pizza bet, that I think Aleem comes out over the next 11 games and has over 5 sacks in that stretch of football. And he starts to dominate a little bit, especially a game like tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Sunday. Like, he's going to have a big game and it's going to lead into Green Bay. And then you start getting a good stretch of football. I know he didn't have any sacks last week, but I still think he played decent. And then I was coming off a 2-sack week in Dallas too. So like just letting that momentum build and get better and better. He is someone you will always buy on, especially he just got that deal too.
So I'm gonna buy it. I thought about it for a second of holding, but I'm gonna have faith that he will be productive, continue to be productive. So I'm gonna say buy. So I'm with you guys there. All right, next player, Josh Pascal. Josh Pascal, buy, sell, hold. What are you guys at?
His current stock's kind of high for Josh Pascal territory. He had a sack last week against Sam Darnold, made a couple key plays against the run. So I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold because I think it's high. The injury would make it easy to sell. But I think he's going to be a guy that continues to stay on the field. Another one that got a game plan to get after the quarterback and make an edge in the run game. So I'm going to hold it and see the futures. I think it's too early to tell on him right now.
Yeah, I'm going to hold as well. Obviously not going to be playing this week. So with all the injuries to our edge rushers, you expect him to kind of take on a bigger role. So I'm going to hold as of now. Once he gets back in the lineup, you kind of expect him, like Lukas said, had a sack last week to kind of keep that going with this bigger role. So I'll hold on Josh Pascal for now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to with him out, like the injury situation with him. You have to be able to hold. I would love to buy Josh Pascal. I would love to buy his stock. Maybe he's low right now. Maybe with the injury situation, you say, hey, man, let me buy just a few. Let me sprinkle a little bit out on some Josh stock. Maybe. Am I wrong? Maybe
Yeah, no, you know what?
Maybe sprinkle a little bit. Maybe just a little sprinkle.
I'm not lying to you. The reason you can take it's how you interpret this game. I look at it like you look at it, Boone. Where's his stock right now? It's pretty low. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit. I'm going to buy some Josh Pascal stock because he's going to be playing a lot of snaps. I mean, he just is. So, I mean, the stock cannot go anywhere but up at this point. Unless he just gets injured, misses the whole season, or he's just ineffective, essentially. But I'm going to buy it. So, I'm with you there. I'm going to agree with that. Yeah, so it makes total sense. Let's see. I see some people buy. I saw some holds in there. So, again, it's how you interpret it. You want to hold it? Great. I'm buying it. It's not that high right now. So, shout out Bobby Max, by the way. Yeah, Bobby Max, very good place. All right. Let's get to our next player here. Sam Laporta. Buying, selling, holding. Where are you guys going with it?
I'm buying. This one's easy. His stock's as low as it's about to get. I think that maybe not in the next couple of games he gets it going, but by the end of the year, I think they're definitely taking the approach of, okay, we don't want to try to overwork Sam Laporta because that's a guy that we'd love to have late in December and in playoff time. So especially around then, I think Sam Laporta's stock is going to be sky high again. So I'm definitely buying while it's low.
Yeah, like Lukas has constantly been saying the past couple of weeks, you can kind of see it with Sam Laporta. He's still banged up from the injury, that knee injury in that one game earlier on in the year. But I think as it kind of the season progresses, you'll kind of see him get healthier and healthier and more incorporated into the offense. And I think they've kind of been almost like minimizing him in an instance to kind of save some of the plays for Sam Laporta and kind of break him out towards the end of the year in playoffs. So I'll hold on or buy on Sam Laporta, being that his stock is so low right now.
I'm not a financial advisor, but if you could actually bet on players and their stocks, I would say put the whole house on Sam Laporta. The man, he's going to be back. I don't know if it's this week. Sam Laporta at some point this year, he's going to have a couple big games where you're going to be like, oh my God, this is why he's the best in the league. Don't forget, this man, I don't care what the production looks like right now, he's still a top 3 tight end in the NFL, in my opinion. Top 3. There's 3 guys, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Sam Laporta. Those 3 guys. Don't forget it. Sam Laporta, put everything you have on his stock right now. It's the lowest. It's the lowest you'll never see Sam Laporta's stock this low in his whole career. Never. So everyone put it on there.
Yeah, I'm putting the farm on it. I mean, I mean, the house, the farm, you put everything on it. Everything. I mean, because to your guys' point, there's nowhere to go but up at this point. The line is 32.5. Like, this is where we are. So yeah, it's going to go up. He's going to get back to that original form as he gets healthier. So I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy some stock. So that's where I'm at. I'm with you guys there. All right, next player. Terran Arnold, the rookie corner. Low stock right now. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's just going to be like kind of inclement as far as the rest of his career goes. The stock's only going to go up. This guy's been getting better. We've seen less penalties called on him. And I think even this week his stock can take a jump. Like I said, I think there's going to be a big-time matchup between him and Calvin Ridley. And then if they decide to throw Tyler Boyd, and I don't know if they still have a Kene Westbrooker out there. But I don't know. I think that Terrion's definitely going to be a guy that continues to shine and get better as the season goes on. So give me Terrion. I'm buying him as well.
Yeah. I'm going to buy on Terrion as well. Lucas pointed out already. He's gone like 2 games or maybe even 3 games without a penalty. And you've kind of seen him get better and better. And the problem with him through the first, couple games were little fixes and whatnot. So I think even though you are facing a Titans team where they do have some good wide receivers in Tyler Boyd and Calvin Ridley, they don't have a quarterback that's going to be consistently getting them the ball. So I'm not too worried about the matchup aspect for him. I think this is going to be another week where he gains some ground and keeps this momentum going. So I will also buy on Terrion.
All right. You guys know those stocks, like I guess it's not like a stock, but like put money into your 401k, those types of deals. That's what Terrion Arnold is, boys. This is a slow growing stock. The man's a rookie. He's shown so much hope to get to continue to get better, and his talent, everything he has everything, all the characteristics to be a great corner in the NFL. So I am going to put, every single week going forward, I'm just going to put more money into his stock. Like every paycheck you get, like put 10% into that. Put 10% into that. Put 10% into it. Give me some Terrion Arnold stock, huh, boys? How about, hey, give me Terrion stock. Would love it. I'm buying that.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy some. I'm gonna buy some, just because of where it is. Part of me was thinking, well, he's a rookie. He could honestly, and I hate saying this, I don't want to be the guy who says this. He could just struggle his rookie year. Okay, he could just struggle a little bit and not be what he is. Okay, that's just how it works sometimes. And everyone can be Sauce Gardner, but I think he will. Not only is he getting better, I think by the end of the season, you'll start to see, you'll be like, okay, this guy's legit. I think it'll happen this year. So I don't think you have to wait a year for it. So therefore, I'm going to buy stock. I think it's going to only rise from here on out. So we agree there. Next player, Jack Campbell, Captain Jack. What are you doing with that stock? Right now, it's kind of just steady. Just steady. What are you doing with it, Klotzy?
Yeah, it's steady, and I'm thinking about holding, but I think just because of the ceiling that guy has, and I think kind of the same thing with Terrion. Jack's a very young linebacker, and obviously he's not a rookie, but he's still very young in the league, and the big thing is his pass coverage, and I think that over time that's something that he'll get better in recognizing play coverage, pass coverage, and everything like that. So I think Jack, not where you want him to be at this point in his career, but he's still a good linebacker, and I think he's going to get better as the years go on. So I'm going to buy.
Yeah, I'm still going to buy here too. Obviously, like Lucas said too, I think his stock is kind of, or Jeff said rather, it's been kind of at a maintaining pace. But I think the linebackers in general, him, Anzo, with Derek Barnes going or getting injured rather, I think they've stepped up tremendously and been one of the best defensive groups for us this far. And I expect Jack to keep getting better. This is only year 2 for him, and we saw towards the end of the season some of the spurts of him being elite. So I'm going to buy on Jack Campbell.
Hey, Klotz, I'm shocked you bought some Jack stock after the conversation we had yesterday. Jeff, I'm interested to see what you say. Obviously, I'm buying Jack Campbell stock. I think he's going to be the best linebacker on this team in the next year. And as he's gotten better, guys, since week 1 to now. Like we've seen him in week 1. I know the coverage thing is a question, but it feels like he's getting better and he's learning. And not, again, I said this in the off season, and no one really wanted to believe me that much. He is in a new position at the linebacker. Like he's moved from that Sam, he was in the Sam position all year last year. And now he's finally having to get into coverage. And you're seeing him in a new spot where he belongs. And he's kind of getting used to it again in the NFL. Like it's kind of like rookie year in a new spot where he's like, this is his first full season in the NFL having to be in coverage. And you could tell like that's tough, like especially at the linebacker position. So I'm buying all of it because as soon as he figures that out, hey, Jack Campbell is about to be – he's going to be a Pro Bowler next year. Pro Bowler next year. I'm telling you.
Listen, I mean, we did the breakout players before the year. I had Jack Campbell 1 on there. I to your point, Boone, he's been steadily getting better. So I'm going to buy the stock. Okay, he's getting better every single week. And I'm not worried about him long term. I'm not really worried about him short term. I just think it's good. You have two good linebackers, and you have Enzo as a vet who can kind of just keep the ship steady as Jack improves. So, of course, I'm going to buy Jack stock. I think he's only going to get better from here on out. So that's where I'm at. I think it's steadily rising. So you get on it now, and as it continues to rise, you'll make your money back. Next player I have on here, Timmy P. Tim Patrick. That stock, hey, that was a penny stock. I mean, you're paying. Oh, hey, what do you think about that, Klotzy?
I'm mortgaging the house on that one. Tim Patrick over the next couple of weeks. Booner said it. He has an actual role for himself on this offense, and I think it's very true. Where Tim Patrick, you can put another guy outside, but he just simply can't do the things that Tim Patrick does. So I think he's going to be a guy as the season goes on, with or without J-Mo. He's going to be important to this team, and he's going to be on the field a lot. And I think by the end of the season, 300-400 yards, somewhere in between there. You maybe give him 2 touchdowns, maybe even 3 if you want to throw one in there. And in playoff time, he's going to become crucial because when you throw him the ball, he catches it. I mean, he's got like I said, he's got the catch radius of a small garage. So Tim Patrick, improving, going to keep buying. Buy.
Yeah, I'm going to buy on Tim Patrick as well. Obviously, the JMO injury this week is helping his situation. But Jared Goff spoke on him and Allen Robinson, 2 veteran guys that are able to put their ego aside and kind of just step in and, play for the better good of the team. So I think his chemistry with Goff has kind of taken a step forward over the last month, really, and he's starting to incorporate himself in the offense. He has a spot in the offense, as Boone would say, and I'm going to buy on TP.
All right, I'll take that odd way out here, boys. I'm not going to buy, but I'm not selling. I'm holding, boys. I'm keeping the Tim Patrick. Listen, someone put it in the chat. He's 10 targets, 10 catches. He's been very, very solid. Like, you know what you're getting out of him. He has that Josh Reynolds role, which is what you were kind of missing. It felt like in this offense all offseason long. Now, I'll say this. Maybe this week and next week he has a more bigger role. But if we're talking about stock and long-term, like right now and going into next week, his stock's probably going to be at its highest. And then when JMO gets back, it starts going down. So I'm just going to hold what I have now with I think what he does is perfect. Like, I think it's absolutely perfect. Like, he plays the perfect role. He knows exactly what he needs to do to help this team win. You know what I mean? Like, it's a perfect role player. Like, it's hard to come about guys like that come on good teams. Like, you see, like the Warriors, when they were going through that dynasty, they had a lot of guys that did it. And it feels like Tim Patrick is one of those types of guys, like a Sean Livingston type player on this football team, to where it's like, you know what you're getting out of him every night and you can rely on him, and he's a vet. So I'm holding. I think he's our Sean Livingston, boys. That's our Sean Livingston.
Oh, the Sean Livingston. I like it. The Sean Livingston.
Felt like you didn't there. I didn't like that.
I had to think about it for a second. I don't mind.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
You know what, Boone? You're a smart man, because I'm agreeing with you. I'm gonna hold it because of what you just said. You put it perfect. It's gonna rise this week and next week, and then he'll just kind of be steady. Because when you're buying stock, you think there's more. It's rising, which he has risen, but I don't think it'll be like astronomical. Where he has
risen.
I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it. That's that's where I'm at with Timmy P. Sorry, Luke. I don't not the mortgage on it, but not the mortgage on it.
I think like Tim Patrick is like the ideal player that you hold the stock. Like, you bought it back in training camp when he first signed, and it was like the lowest it could be. They had no clue what to expect, and now it's like it's probably like these next 2 weeks again. It's going to be the stock's going to be at its highest these next 2 weeks. Like, we're literally probably at the Tim Patrick peak right now because JMO's out, unless there's another injury, knock on wood. So, like, after that, he's going to go back to that role that he has the first 6 weeks, which, again, someone has to have that role, and Tim is like the perfect guy to do it.
So I have 2 more. Okay, one, I have a player and a coach. I'm going to do this last one, and this one kind of contradicts a little bit with the player I just named, Khalif Raymond. Khalif Raymond. What do you think, Klotz? You just bought a ton of Timmy P stock. Where are you at with Khalif?
I think Leaf, I'm holding. I think kind of because Leaf's role's already been identified in this offense, and I think that we've even seen Leaf last year without JMO, and even in years prior, where Leaf can be very good, but in one game he might go off, kind of like the 70 yards last week. But the next week he'll put up like 20 yards. And there's nothing wrong with that just because that's the role that he's in. I think he's a very good returner. He always puts in work there. But I think Khalif Raymond is Khalif Raymond. I don't expect to see him take a monster jump or even a slight jump. I just think he's going to have some good performances throughout the year from time to time, but he'll still be Khalif Raymond. So I'm going to hold. I'm definitely not selling.
Yeah, I'm not selling, but I am as well. I am going to hold too. I think you'll see his role increase these next 2 weeks with J-Mo being gone as well as Tim Patrick. But I think after that, his role would kind of be persistent moving forward, kind of the normal Khalif Raymond. Obviously, he gets involved on special teams, and even last game had a few big plays, obviously a touchdown. But I think after that, his role will kind of pace as soon as J-Mo gets back. But I think for these next 2 weeks, you're going to be seeing a lot of Khalif. So I'm just going to hold for now.
I'm going to hold too. Because they're similar roles. Like, that's where it's tough. I want to buy some, but Timmy P, if I'm holding with Timmy P, I got to hold with Khalif too. So those two, I think, are kind of battle. Not for snaps, because Tim Patrick's always going to be out there more. But in terms of, like, production, like, there could be weeks where Khalif is getting more involved, like the Vikings game, and then Timmy P, they're kind of – aren't they close in yards and catches? Or maybe just yards?
Yards, yeah.
We're 20 off, like 16 off.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold him as well. So that's where I'm at. Last person.
Am I good to answer Khalif? Is it cool if I go?
Oh, I thought you went. Usually I go.
No, I just wondering if it was cool if I go. That's all. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I think I had you shook a little bit with something else, but won't bring that up. Pistons are great, huh?
Camera literally went.
Pistons 35 wins. Sorry, uncalled for. I'll hold with Khalif Raymond. I think it's the same thing with Tim Patrick that you said, Jeff. Like I'm holding. I think it's in a perfect spot. Khalif is Khalif, man, and he's been Khalif. It's like it's one of those stocks that just don't move much. Like he's just very consistent.
I'm gonna hold. So we agree there. The final guy, Coach Aaron Glenn. Where are you guys at with AG for the rest of the season? No Aiden Hutchinson.
This is tough. Because I think by default, like Aaron Glenn's not going to be able to do more. Like it's the production, like he's not going to be able to have it as good as a defense. But I think Aaron Glenn is a perfect defensive coordinator to have in the situation because he's been doing a lot with nothing, quote unquote, a lot. Being able to have one of the top run defenses consistently, which I think is hard to ask given the talent. But I think he is going to shine about as far as like how Booner says. He's going to be able to put pressure on the quarterback in unique ways. So I'm not going to sell definitely with Aiden Hudson, but I'll hold because I think kind of like how Ben Johnson is Ben Johnson. Like, you're not going to buy more Ben Johnson stock. I think you know what Aaron Glenn is. I don't think he's going to take this defense up to another level, but I don't think it's going to absolutely fall out. But I think from time to time, schematically, they're going to get taken advantage of, but you can't blame him for that. It's a personnel thing. So I'm going to hold with AG.
Yeah, I'm going to hold as well, too. They obviously don't have the pieces that they started the season with, but Aaron Glenn's strength has been getting the best out of guys and putting them in situations to succeed. And then we also aren't counting the fact out that they may go out and acquire a few defensive pieces, for this Super Bowl run. So I think Aaron Glenn, as of now, I think he'll be fine with the pieces that he has. There will be some struggles, but he's been good at getting the best out of his players. So I will hold for now, and let's get AG some help to finish out the year.
You know what? So I want to ask this, guys. Are our stock markets, how long do they go down the line? Like, how long are we looking? I just want to know.
Season. These are season.
Just season? Can we do like 2 seasons maybe?
No, you can't fit. You got to do season.
Career with Detroit Lions. How about that?
Because I was going to say with AG, I'm buying. That man's going to be a head coach next year. I'm buying all the stock for AG. No, I'll probably hold. I think AG. Actually, you know what? I'm buying. I'm going to buy AG stock. I'm going to buy AG stock. Want to know why?
Why, Boone?
This man is about to put together with the roster that he has. He's going to put together an elite defense. And guess what's happening in the next 2 weeks, boys? No one wants to think about this. That man's going to get some, trade deadline, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett. Don't let AG get one of them because then AG's defense is top 10 in the NFL. I'm buying on that. All those people in the chat that said hold, think a little bit. AG's defense is only going to get better with the personnel that he has. And like last year, first half of the season struggled, had the same personnel. Guess what he did? Changed the scheme up. What happened? Defense was better in the second half of the season. It was top 15 in the second half of the season. Buy it all.
So I'm going to hold on AG. I'm gonna hold.
Yeah, of course you are.
I'm gonna hold on AG. No Aiden. I need to see what Brad does here to get this man some help. And I guess I'm basing it off of like the defense as a whole. I guess maybe like the human being AG I'm buying because like like you said, he could be a head coach, but in terms of the defense, I'm gonna hold because we got to figure this edge. We got to figure out getting this man some edge here. So coaching, like he's a hell of a coach, but you are what your players are. You know who you have, your personnel. And they have Bobby Woo Woo out there, all due respect, and James Houston. So gotta get more. Gotta get more than that. But there you go. It's the Detroit Lions stock market. You know what? Thanks for playing, guys. Appreciate it.
I mean, I feel like I was at a fair there. Thanks for playing.
All right. Well, I want to before we get to NFL Pick'em in about 15 minutes. We're going to do this. We did this before the season. Our bold takes for the games. All right. We do bold takes for the season. We're going to do our bold takes for the games. All right. And I'll go first. And I'll tell you this. On Sunday, you know what's going to happen out there? And Klotz mentioned it earlier. And he must have been reading my prep. I get it, Klotz. I can help you out. Terran Arnold is going to get an interception on Sunday. That is what is going to happen. I actually, to be fair, I said it against the Cowboys. And
Buddy, I think you said it. Honestly, between you and Klotz, I think you guys have said it every game this year. All 6 games. Well, yeah, I mean, if you say it every game, it's not as impressive when it does hit.
It's gonna hit.
Hey, Unc, who's the interception nowhere on the 4 for 4?
That is you. Win the
that,
turnover battle, Boone. Win the turnover battle.
I hope Terrion gets one this week, just so we can get this over with. I want to get this over with so bad.
You gonna fucking go, or what are we doing?
Right,
no,
I'll go.
Someone else go.
I'll go. Put me on. All right. So after a rough fumble in crunch time last week, David Montgomery is going to bounce back, and I want to pull up his yards. So his yards were only at 54.5, and I want to say Jameer was 10 yards above him. Someone can double check me if they want to, but either way, David Montgomery is not just going to clear this line. He's going to clear this line by 30 plus. I expect David Montgomery to have a huge bounce back. He's going to break one similar to the Chargers game of last year, which is a good chunk of yardage, and he's definitely getting in the end zone this game. There's nobody better to bounce back than David Montgomery behind the best offensive line in the league against the Titans.
Hey, Unc, I'm just going to go right beside you here. I think D-Mon has a huge game, but I think Jameer does as well. And my bold prediction is that this running back duo combined for 4 tutties this week.
Oh, my God!
He's due for 2. He's due for 2. I think that this offense...
Man took mine!
It gets down with these, and then you know what? They realize that D-Mon didn't have the game he wanted to last week. They're going to get him in the end zone. I think Jameer, I think he gets 1 on the ground and 1 through there. I think this is an offensive game where they just kind of run through the running backs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Here's Leaf, here's Laporta, here's Tim Patrick. But this running back duo, I think, is going to go off this week. I got D-Mon and Gibbs, 4 tutties.
This man took mine. That was going to be my first one. That's tough. I'll do this though, because I didn't just have that. I had a combined running back one. Do you guys remember about 3 or 4 weeks ago I said the Detroit Lions running backs will combine for over 200 all-purpose yards? And I'll go this. I'll just say 200 all-purpose yards, 3 touchdowns combined by the 2. I think they have good games. I know I said Jared Goff has a good game, but I do think, and I truly believe it. I think I'll save it because Booner bets. I have some props in there for this, but I do think these 2 running backs, I think D-Mont has a big bounce back game after last week. I think he does, and I think they're going to emphasize it a little bit, like get 15 carries. So I'm interested to see how this works out, but that's mine. 200 all-purpose yards. Said it a couple weeks ago, and 3 touchdowns for the duo. Does everyone else have any more?
Well, I will say I got some lines that I like for the game. I'll say the Laporta one you mentioned earlier, I think that smacks. I think he hits the over. Was it 32.5, dude? Like, yeah. I mean, that's like he can get that in 4 catches, which he'll probably have. So I can see 4 for 40 from Laporta. I like the Sam Laporta line is disrespectful. It's too low. I don't think he has like his like 80, 90, 100 yards or anything like that. But
yeah,
more than 32.5 yards. Come on. I think that hits. Another thing I do like is Jared Goff 2 passing touchdowns. I don't know what that is. That's going to hit as well. He's had it most games. and the way he's playing right now, if the Lions score 30, 34, 37 points, whatever it is, he's going to have 2 passing touchdowns at some point. So I get what you guys are saying about the running back, and that could happen. But I'm going to lean Jared Goff getting 2 passing touchdowns, especially with the narrative going on. Not that they'll force it, but they trust this man. He's playing really well. And I think the 2 passing touchdowns basically guaranteed. So
I have another one here. And actually, you know what? Someone else can go because I want to look. So actually, I won't do that. I think so. I'm looking at the Titans, and I was thinking about it earlier, with the Liam McNeil. You saw Liam get 2 sacks in Dallas, and I think this is a game like last week. He signed his contract, didn't really get any sacks last week. I think this is a week versus Titans, a not a great Titans offensive line. We talked about that with the beat reporter yesterday about how they don't have that. They have a beat up offensive line. There's only, I think they have 1 legit offensive lineman on that football team right now. When you have DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil in there, it's going to be tough to stop those 2 guys. And Levi O is going to be going. I think DJ Reader, guys, he had 2 sacks versus Dallas. I wouldn't be shocked if Aleem McNeil has a sack and a half on Sunday, like a sack and a half plus. I would not be surprised. Last week, the Tennessee Titans, they played Chicago, gave up 3 sacks. The week before, the New York Jets, they gave up 4 sacks. The week before that, I'm sorry, this is all at the beginning of the week. I'm reading week 1, week 2, week 3. Week 2, they had 4 sacks versus the Jets, or gave up 4 sacks. And then versus Green Bay, guys, and I know Green Bay is a really good defense, they gave up 8 sacks. So this offensive line is capable of giving up a lot of sacks, and I think they're going to have trouble stopping Aleem McNeil. Give me Aleem McNeil a sack and a half or more on Sunday. I think he goes crazy on Sunday, guys. Hey, Mason Rudolph, he's not getting away from Aleem McNeil. I promise you that.
Hey, that plus 700 line's back, boys. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery each have 25 rushing yards in both halves. I think that hits. It was it hit and then it didn't because Jahmyr Gibbs got tackled for a 6 or 4 yard pulse, whatever it was. But I think that for plus 700, that's easy money this week against the Titans.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about another line earlier. Khalif, he's at 24.5. I really like that line, as well as Jahmyr Gibbs, 19.5 receiving. And then David Montgomery is just still minus 150 just to get 1 touchdown, even though I think he may get 2. He's for sure getting that 1. So David Montgomery is my lock for the touchdown and the yards. He's getting over 54.5 and he's getting a touchdown. I guarantee it.
I didn't even know this. Wilson, Tennessee passed on Gibbs the pick before we got him. Revenge game incoming. Is that it? What?
Yeah, they got Peter Skoronski. I'm trying to think. He might have won 10. I believe him. I'll take.
Yeah, they did. I know. I'm not. He's right. I just honestly I forgot about that. I wonder if I doubt he thinks about that stuff, but go out there and have a big game, huh, Jahmyr? Get 100 yards all purpose.
They did have Derrick Henry at the time, though.
That's fair. The way he's playing right now, it's fair. 40 Phenom says Montgomery's going to have a massive game. So let's see. Yeah. So you guys said the running backs 2 touchdowns. I don't think they'll have 2. I love it. It's a bold take. I mean that is technically a bold
I think they just have 3 combined. The running backs.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could see that. Yeah. They're both going to score. I think that's fair. Let's see. Oh man,
I was going to ask.
Manual. Unless he wins the Super Bowl, he ain't getting MVP. Patrick and his hat trick are getting it. All right, go on. Sorry. Just thought that was hilarious.
I was going to ask the total for the game, Boone. I was going to ask your opinion on it. Is only 44.5. I'm trying to find the Lions team total, but I'm struggling to find it. And I know that's usually a bet of yours because of how hot the offense has been. Do you like that?
I would like to choose to not comment.
Oh, the best bets later.
So their total. The line for the Lions total points is 28.5, Boone. It's not the usual. It's been 24.5. It's been a little bit lighter than that, but obviously you are playing the Titans. In the den, Boone, in the den.
I would no comment.
He's pleading the 5th. I get it.
I'll plead the 5th on that. You guys might have to wait until later in the show to find that one out. I don't know, maybe or maybe not.
Sorry for jumping the gun, Boone.
Oh, it's all good, Hunk.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you guys this. I mean, I'm going to plead the 5th on the Pistons here. I mean, they're down 91-79 going into the 4th quarter. And I need Jalen Duren to have 8 rebounds and he has 6, which I think he'll probably get that.
He has 4. He has 4 fouls.
A nice slot in about 20 minutes to talk about that game, Jeff. You'll be reporting to the stand, but for now, we got to pick 'em.
Well, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know if we'll get to it because we have our pick 'em. We might as well.
No. We'll start to pick 'em now, and There's no avoiding this, Jeffrey. I mean, when the Red Wings started out, I was on the stand 3 days in a row. Just doesn't work like that, Jeff. You don't get to pick and choose. We pick. Now go get the Pistons hat. Go get the Pistons hoodie.
Hey, Kate's having a good game.
Get the jersey off the wall. Keep that energy.
Hey, Kate's having Kate and Ivy are having a good game. It's tough out here though. Very tough out here. Not gonna lie. He's 30 in the going into the fourth. Cade Cunningham is playing well. All right, let's get to the NFL pick'em, and we'll see. I'm just saying. I'm just warning you. We could address it now, or we just let the show ride. We'll see where it takes us. I'm giving you the opportunity.
No. We'll wait. We'll make time for it. We'll cook through this.
All right. Let's get to our NFL pick'em. By the way, updated records. I want to show the people. Last week to this week, the development. We have the race. And I guess, Caleb was here last week. He was in place of Klotzy, so the records aren't, lined up directly, but you'll see once I get them on the screen here. But these are the records as of right now. Okay, these are the records. So Michael Gentry, technically winning percentage, you are in first. Because 10 and 3 is better than 15 and 5. I'm in second, 15 and 5. Booner third, 11 and 9. Klotzy 7 and 6. He is above 500. Klotzy.
Hey, that's a big climb. I was down. I was in the gutter. He was in the gutter. And then we have Caleb at 5 and 8. So those are the updated standings here for the NFL pick'em. I don't know. We got to have something at the end of the year where someone has to. The winner does something. Maybe the last placer does something. I don't know. The loser has to do something.
Or the winner gets something, the last place gets to do something. Well, I'll figure it out. We'll make it like a challenge.
We'll let the chat decide. We'll put like three stupid things that we have to do, and we'll let the chat vote on them.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But those are it right now. But Gentry came in. He came in a week late. He's been hot. He's been on a heater. So today you're going to go first, Gentry. Now you're going to go first, so you don't pull the old "I'll just tail everyone so they can't catch me." Now you have to go first. You're on the stand.
All right. What's the first one?
All right. So the first game we have here on the NFL slate is Eagles at Bengals. Bengals minus 2.5. Bengals minus 2.5, welcoming in the Eagles.
I'm rolling with the hot quarterback in Joe Burrow. The defense has kind of shown some strides there. If this game was in Philly, I think I would probably go the other way on it. But I like the 2.5, the Bengals rolling at home. This is a huge game for them. Obviously, we already talked about the Trey Hendrickson trade, and if their season goes south, how that may be a thing, but I still don't believe so. I think they win these next two, get above 500, and they're good. So I'll take the Bengals minus 2.5 in this.
Yeah, I'm only going with the Bengals because it is at home, and I think both of these teams are nightmare matchups. But I think going back to what Gentry said, both teams are going to expose themselves on the defensive side of the ball. So when you look at it, are you taking Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor? Or are you taking Sirianni and Jalen Hurts? I'm going to take Burrow and Zach Taylor. So give me the Bengals at home to cover.
Hey, just real quick, just so for the order for the standings, Gentry, Jeff, me, Klotzy. So it helps out. So you guys know, you know what I mean? So Jeff, you can go next. Jeff, you follow Gentry.
Okay, so in this game, I'm going to go with the Bengals as well. I'm going to go Bengals to win, and obviously they'll cover. They win by at least a field goal. That's where I'm at.
I'm the whole time, guys. I think Eagles win this football game. I think money line Eagles. I'll take the plus 2.5. It's going to be a close game. I know they're on the road, but I think the Eagles are going to start figuring some things out here. So I'm going to go the Eagles plus 2.5, boys.
All right. Next game we have is the Green Bay Packers traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jags. They are 3.5-point favorites. Where you guys are at home? Hey, in Jacksonville, Duval taking on the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville got their win last week. They're going to go back to being terrible. Green Bay's got a great defense. Jordan Love and that offense are going to light up the Jacksonville defense. Josh Jacobs probably will run all over him. He probably won't get in the end zone per the way way they run the ball in the red zone. But I'll still take the Packers minus 4.5. He said, yeah.
Give
me the Pack.
3.5.
3.5. Whatever. Even better. I'll take the Pack.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers here. Win. Easy. They'll cover. They'll beat the Jags. They don't have a pulse at this point. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go the Packers as well, boys. The Jags. Jeff, you keep picking against the teams that you stood on for. Like last week, you picked against the Falcons. Now you're going against the Jags. It's interesting to me. You don't trust any of these teams that you were riding for. So I'm gonna go the Packers though.
Yeah, you guys know where I stand. I think the Packers are a very good team. I do not like anything that has to be done with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Packers defense is hot right now. Outside of Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, the best safety without a doubt is Xavier McKinney, and he's been having a tear. He's going to keep having a good game. I think Brian Thomas, nice game though. If you want to take his over in receiving yards, I'd do that.
Yeah, I mean that's it. So we'll go to the next one.
Man, we got shook off the side there. I apologize.
Yeah, just.
I mean, the narratives. You had the Falcons, I had the
game.
Bucks, you had the Jags. Like we can't just ignore narratives all season. We do a whole off season of picks and projections and predictions. We have to talk about them during the year. Imagine if Josh Allen was 1-6 right now. The every time they came up, how much stuff I would get for that. Am I wrong?
Are you done?
I'm just asking. You seem a little sad over there for Trevor.
I mean, we've talked about the Jags. Plenty of them.
Oh yeah, we just did. It's tough, man.
All right, next game. Indianapolis Colts. Going to Houston.
Jeff, we skipped one.
Atlanta, Tampa.
Yep.
Atlanta traveling to Tampa. Take on the Buccaneers. Atlanta's 2.5-point favorites. Gentry, what do you think?
Atlanta -2.5. Actually, I think Baker without both of his wide receivers. Obviously, no Godwin for the rest of the year, and then no Mike Evans for next week. Even though this game is at home, I expect Atlanta to come in here and at least cover this, being the fact that that offense isn't going to look the same without those two guys. So I'll take Atlanta -2.5.
Yeah, this to me, I'm going with the Falcons. The Bucs are pretty much. I mean, they lost Godwin. They don't have Mike Evans. Falcons are coming off a loss. This is their opportunity to bounce back. They're on the road. I like them to cover. So give me the Falcons.
Yeah, it might be a clean sweep. I'm interested to see the Bucs without these two wide receivers. Like Mike Evans is out for a few weeks, and Chris Godwin on IR. I'm interested to see how they put this thing together. And maybe the Bucs might end up trading for a wide receiver at the deadline, boys. That might be the possibility there. Imagine, like, I don't think Cooper's going anymore, but imagine the Bucs add someone, another weapon. That'd be interesting. Give me the Falcons though.
Trey Palmer, Jalen McMillan. Come on now, Cade Otton. Baker's got some pieces, but it just won't be enough. I think the Buccaneers could keep this game close for a little bit, but the fact that the Falcons just got humiliated by the Seahawks at home, I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think Kirk Cousins has a big bounce back game. Him and Drake London get it going, but you still see Bijan Robinson not be able to get full in effect, which will just be frustrating to see all year long. But Falcons covered.
All right, next game. Indianapolis Colts travel to Houston, take on the Texans. Texans are 4.5-point favorites. Gentry, what do you think?
This is in Houston, coming off a loss to the Packers, where C.J. Stroud definitely didn't play his best. The team in general didn't play his best. The Texans are going to wipe the floor with this Colts team. There's nothing more to it. Give me the 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, just give me the path. Give me the path. It's the Texans. They're going to win this game. And now, what's the spread? It's 4.5.
4.5, but no Jonathan Taylor again.
No, I thought Jonathan Taylor's back.
He could be playing.
I think JT's back.
I think he could be playing. It's the spread. I'm going to still go Texans.
Can I put a caveat on this? Can I put something on this? Just where my pick can change if something happens on Sunday?
It depends.
If Joe Flacco somehow, some way plays on Sunday and starts,
No.
I want the Colts.
No.
But if AR is starting, I want we don't know though, boys. I think we should be able to have a if or that or for like quarterback position. Like if a quarterback maybe is in or out. Like if they end up moving and saying, hey, let's sit AR and let's go Joe Flacco for the game. Hey, Flacco, baby.
Unfortunately,
give me the Texans. They're playing AR. Give me the Texans.
Yeah.
You guys not think it's crazy? Real quick, do you guys not think it's like crazy that like they're better with Joe Flacco right now? It's nothing against AR. It's just with Joe Flacco. Like,
no.
Why wouldn't you just let AR just learned. Like he wasn't able to learn last year because he was hurt, so he wasn't really in the building as much, and he wasn't able to learn from Gardner and them. And now he's in the building and able to learn. And like I know he won last week, I'm pretty sure, but like let's not act like he's been like, whoa. He's made some plays, but let Flacco play a little bit and let AR learn. Like you want your franchise quarterback to learn from someone. Give me a Houston though.
I think the best thing for them is to let Anthony Richardson sit, but they're not. I think Shane Steichen feels the pressure of, okay, Indianapolis is somewhere expectations are high. You're coming off Peyton Manning type of era. Obviously, then you have Andrew Luck, so they expect good quarterback play. Now they have a legitimate coach and quarterback talent in there, so he's got to develop him quick. But that's just what you can't let a quarterback sit in the NFL as much anymore if you're not already winning somewhere. And when you got a team better in that division, you want them to see all those looks right now. So I don't agree with it, but I get what they're trying to do. With that being said, my Colts don't cover this week, boys. They don't. I think CJ Stroud is coming off, like Gentry said, his worst career game. And I think they find a way to make sure that Tank Dell, I think he literally had 0 yards and 0 catches. That changes. Stephon was limited. And they have Joe Mixon back, so they're going to be having their way with him. I think Texans cover.
Next game, the Bills traveled to Seattle, take on the Seahawks. They're favored by 3. What do you think, Gentry?
This is the trap, boys. Give me Seattle +3. The Bills have been playing so well going into Seattle. Boone.
Go ahead.
Seattle, even without DK Metcalf, I still think Kenneth Walker has a big role in this game and then end up covering. I think it's going to be close throughout the whole way, but Seattle ends up escaping covering. I don't know if they'll win the game. Yeah, they'll win the game. So,
give me the Bills here. I think they cover. No, I think DK Metcalf's doubtful. That's huge. So, and I think the with Amari Cooper now, legit number 1 wide receiver, I think it's only going to help Keon Coleman as well. So I get McDonald, great defensive mind. I like the Bills in this spot here. Healthier team, better quarterback. I'm going to go with the Bills.
Hey, give me the Bills. I don't care about a trap game, Unc. What are we talking about over there? The Buffalo
Bills. Said the Lions playing the Titans was a trap game.
No, I said it. The Lions are going to win by 40, but it's the setup of a trap game. To be fair, it is the exact definition of a trap game. The Lions is coming off a very high week, and then you have another big time game after. This is not a trap game. The Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. Just like it might be a trap game for the Lions, and the Lions win by 40. There's no way the Buffalo Bills lose this game. What's the spread again? 3.5 or 2.5?
3.
3.5. Hey, Jeff, me and you lockstep, brother.
I think the Bills win this game, but I do agree with Unc. I think when you look at this defense for Seattle, they match up very well with the Bills offense. And I think that when you look at the Bills defense compared to the Seahawks offense, even though they don't have DK Metcalf, they still have JSN. They still have Tyler Lockett, and Kenneth Walker is really picking it up lately. They're learning to rely on him. So Bills win. I think it's a late win. It could be potentially a walk-off field goal. But I do think that the Seahawks cover the 3.5-point spread.
All right. Next game, Chicago traveling to Washington. Bears Commanders. Bears favored by 3 on the road. Jayden Daniels, I don't know if he's playing or not. That's like the big question, I guess. They might let him rest, and if I'm not really sure how that's going. So no caveat. What do you think, Gentry?
I mean, I don't like betting on the Bears by any means, but even though Marcus Mariota showed some flashes that game, I still think the Bears end up covering this one. I don't know if I trust the Washington defense. The corners, really, the defensive backs against the weapons that the Bears have, and just the defense in general. I think the Bears defense will come and play up to par. Obviously, they have a few weapons on the outside as far as Terry McLaurin, and then you have Brian Robinson, who's been one of the hottest backs in the NFL. But I'm still taking the Bears -3. If Jayden Daniels was in this is a whole different situation, in my opinion.
Think I give a shit if he plays or not? Give me the Bears either way, and they're covering this game. I don't care. Jayden Daniels can play. Dyson Daniels. I don't care what Daniels is out there. Give me the Bears and give me Caleb. I think you might get 3 of them things this week. But give me the Bears.
Hey, good luck, brother. You know what? I just went on Twitter and I looked at Jayden Daniels playing, and he practiced today, and they said they're going to try and push for him to play. And then I just watched a post or a press conference of him talking, and they said, "Hey, how do you feel?" And he looked at them in the eyes and said, "I feel good." I feel great. I'm ready to go. He didn't say I'm ready to go. They said, are you going to play? And he goes, I feel he basically said he's good enough to play, but it's not his decision. And I think if a player is like that, I think in the NFL during the season, a game like this, especially because they moved this game, I think to America's Game of the Week and 425, or they moved it. I think he's going to end up playing. Give me the Commanders plus 3.5. You guys could sit there. I'm sure Klotz will go the Bears too. Maybe I hope he doesn't. I hope someone comes on my side. Someone come in my hole on this. Come on, Klotz, where are you at?
What did you just say?
You never heard that saying before?
So he just said someone come in my hole on the.
You've never heard that saying before?
I've never not. No,
Going in someone's hole like a foxhole.
Well, a foxhole, yeah. I mean, you probably could add.
Why can't we do a serious show here? We're supposed to be a serious. Okay. We're supposed to be serious sports take here.
Booner, I will come in your hole, Booner. I do think that the Washington Commanders do come.
This is serious. Come on now.
I think people are overlooking Dan Quinn in this defense, in my opinion. I think that Caleb Williams does have a good showing. Like, I don't think Caleb plays like ass, but I do think there's a turnover or two, whether it's from Caleb, DeAndre Swift, not Robert Tonyan, Cole Kmet, whoever. There'll be a couple turnovers from Chicago, but I do think that Chicago wins this game. Washington, however, they will cover.
All right.
Hey, why don't we grow up, boys, huh?
All right, final game. Final game we got.
Yeah, that's tough. Sorry.
Yeah. Roman, I love it. All right. Next final game, Dallas traveling to San Francisco, take on the 49ers. 49ers are favored by 4.5. Where you guys at in this game? Unk?
I will take the 49ers. Obviously, they were coming off the loss to the Chiefs. Dallas defense, very suspect. I don't care if they're missing Debo and Brandon Ayuk, or if they're missing one of the two, obviously being Brandon Ayuk.
Oh,
what?
Juwan
Jennings. No, I think the Steelers cover this too. This is in San Francisco, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Niners are covering this. Cowboys are terrible. Doesn't matter who they're missing on offense. They're still going to put up points. Jordan Mason might have 100 yards and a touchdown.
So yeah, the Cowboys have a ton of injuries. I think they might be getting DeMarcus Lawrence back, but Micah Parsons is still out. Yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers here. After a loss, they just have the Cowboys number. I don't know what it is. So give me the Niners.
You're fucking gross if you do this, Booner. You're disgusting.
I get everything you guys said. I completely understand. It's tough. It's a gross play to take Dallas plus 4.5. Terrible play. Give me the San Francisco 49ers.
Thank you.
Give me the 49ers. I just can't see a world in San Francisco that they don't win by a touchdown, even without weapons. The only reason I would ever take Dallas is because it's just a close game, because both sides are both teams are injured. But again, like, all I'm imagining in my head is George Kittle playing. You guys know?
Yes. Yeah,
all I imagine in my head is the George Kittle shirt that he wore last year that said F Dallas or something, or the Cowboys. And that's kind of where I keep thinking of that. So, like, they have serious hate for Dallas. Give me the 49ers.
Yeah, Niners, big day out of George Kittle, big day out of George Mason. Don't sleep on Ricky Pearsall now, folks. Let Ricky get loose. You don't want to see it.
I really
the
don't.
Niners.
No, we agree there. All right. That's it for
I can't believe Booner said that still.
Dude, honestly, last week Jeff said it too. Like,
I would have.
We talk about getting in people's foxholes all the time. I grew up like.
Wait, whoa! What would you say? What'd you say? What about me? What'd you say?
You
literally said the same saying last week of like going in someone's hole. Like, I've never heard that saying. I hear it all the time in sports. You know, when I'm in a locker room and we're coaching and we're in a game and the coach says, you got to go in, like, come in, you know, I'm not going to say it again. But we don't think about it like that because we're serious. We're ready. We're locked in. I got to think about everything I say on this show. I can't talk normally.
Bro.
Anything you say.
Booner, if Jeff said something like that, we would all have done the same thing.
Yeah,
come on, don't do that.
Well, people are saying it's not a saying. It is obviously a saying.
Come
Like,
in my
people-
hole. I don't. It's like that's somebody I'd get in the foxhole with. Like that's somebody I jump in the foxhole with. Foxhole and hole. There's a word missing
No,
there,
I
and it
don't
makes a
think
big
so.
difference.
Especially with
think it's-
cum, you come in my hole like that.
All right. Well, why don't we move on?
All
We
right,
got
let-
things to do.
Let's
All
wrap.
Yeah, I'll wrap this
Keep
up.
it moving.
All right.
Jeez, man.
All right. Hey, Big A, speaking of, holes, good transition here. Speaking of holes, seems like the Wolverines got a hole at quarterback. You got Davis.
Oh
Mills
no,
starting.
Jeff, we're gonna hold that segment. We had a Pistons.
Can I do
game
my
to talk-
best bets? Can
Oh,
I?
all right, yeah, we could do that first. Then we'll talk about the Pistons and then the shitty Michigan team too. But go on, Booner. I want to hear it. Give us some locks.
Jeff, can you pull up my bet? I sent him to you, brother.
Yep, I got him.
So this is ridiculous right now. Now I'm mad. No, I'm actually not. Kind of happy. Good day, boys.
All right. Here's
Great day,
Booner.
Great day to have a great day.
What do you got for us?
All
today?
right. My best bets. I just want people to know this too. A lot of people, should we take Booner's bets? How do we feel about them? I've figured out a system, boys. If I like a play, I stick with it. And I've started to like a few plays. Last week, 4-1. The week before, 4-1. We are 8-2 over the last 2 weeks on Booner's best bets for the weeks. I don't know about you guys. Feel like that's making money, right, boys? That making some money? 8-2. 8-2. All right. Bet number one, Klotzy. This one's for you. We took Miami's over last week. In my mind, I sat there. Florida State's trash. They're so bad. Miami might put 40 up on them. And as long as Florida State gives us 2 touchdowns, we're winning this one easy. Miami is one of the top teams, I think, in college football. I don't know the exact record. I think they might have. I don't think they've had a game not go over this year. And I can look that up here for you guys real quick. I'm pretty sure that they are like 7-0-1, 6-0-1 when it comes to overs. They just score the rock and they give up points too. It goes both ways here with the Miami Hurricane. So, hey, give me the U again. We're running it back from last week. We took the Miami over. We're running it back this week. Go take Miami versus Florida State over 54.5. Next one. You guys are probably, Booner, why are we putting the Navy team in here to take the over? Why is a Navy team for the over? Guess what, fellas? Fresh stat for you guys. Are you ready for this, boys?
Airbone.
Navy, 6-0 in overs on the season. They are scoring at a high rate. They give up some points. This team will go over today, or not today, tomorrow. Notre Dame versus Navy. Very good game. Top 25 matchup, actually. Navy's 25th. I think Notre Dame's 12th. But Navy, every single game has gone over, and I think it continues with this Notre Dame team. I think they're both going to score a lot of points. That's going to be a fun game to watch. Take the over in that game. Next one. All right. Guys, I will admit, I put this on here, and after I put it on in my head, because the Bucks and Falcons played last time, it went over. It went like in the 60s. It was such a high-scoring game. One thing that I didn't take into account. So this is going to be one of those plays where it goes, all right, we just have to lock in, throw your seatbelt on, and get ready to go. I didn't take into account that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are out. That seems like a pretty big deal, huh? All right, yeah. So I'll take the over 45.5 for Bucks Falcons. The fourth one here, I will take D-Mont over 54.5. You were talking about D-Mont having a big game and doing that. I as soon as you said that, I knew I had this bet, and I knew D-Mont was going to have a bounce back game. So I'll take D-Mont over 54.5 rushing yards. And then the last one, you mentioned it again. I keep taking these team totals. I'm not going to stop taking them. They've hit 3 straight weeks for the Lions. We're going to go 4 straight weeks. Detroit Lions team total over 28.5. They should put 40 up on the Tennessee Titans. They honestly should. So this, 5-0 card here, fellas.
Yeah, that D-Mont and team total are hitting. I don't know. That's the two that obviously. D-Mont's going to run for over 54.5. And then the Lions are going to score, I think. I think they're going to score 30 this week. So I'm not giving away my score prediction, but I like it.
To be honest, Boone, I like them all. The only one that I'm a little skeptical on would be the Buccaneers-Falcons over. I just don't know how much points the Buccaneers will end up putting up, but I like them. I like the bet.
Yeah, that's why I did mention that. I put the bet on there and forgot about Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, but
yeah, well, no Michigan State on there. Just saying. You don't like it, huh? No Davis, no confidence.
Why would I touch that game?
All right. I'm just curious.
I haven't bet on Michigan since week 1.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so.
I like to keep my money. So
yeah, that's fair. Well, I guess you guys want to do our line score predictions. We have line score predictions, MSU versus Michigan score predictions, or at least the win outcome prediction, and then we have the Pistons. So we have 3 things to get to here. Where are we going?
Let's do Pistons. We'll end up doing our score predictions anyways on Sunday. Even then, we can squeeze them in at the end, or we can do Michigan. I mean, I think Michigan.
It's going to be a tip. The boys think about the little brother and little cousin of the Big Ten right now.
Yeah. You're talking about, hey, he's trying to. You see how he's doing that? The Pistons. No. How about Michigan? Huh? How about Michigan State? Huh?
I think Michigan State covers. I'll say that. I have no confidence in the Michigan QB room, and I'm pretty sure Will Johnson is like questionable or something for the game. So that's never a good thing when one of your best defensive players, if not your best, obviously you got Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham on the defensive line, but he's one of your best players. Being without him is never going to be a good sign. But honestly, boys, I just have no confidence in the quarterback play. It is so disinteresting to watch Michigan football now. Disinteresting, disappointing, whatever you want to call it. It's fucking horrible. So, yeah, it's just an ugly scene, Klotz, all right? Leave us alone.
I'm watching it, too. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it. I mean, Unc, I disagree with everything you said. Michigan's going to win the football game. I don't care. We could be down. This is the biggest game of the year. Listen, this means everything tomorrow. It doesn't even care if it's Michigan State. If you lose tomorrow, you don't make a bowl game. So you better go in. Sharon Moore, your job's on the line. Go in and win the football game. That is all that matters. Go win the football game. This is your Super Bowl tomorrow. I don't care about the Ohio State game this year. I don't care about the Oregon game. You beat Michigan State. You go and take care of business. I don't care. Davis Wharton, you better be ready to go. You better be ready to go. Because if you lose tomorrow, guys, guess what? You went from a national championship to a bowl game. So tomorrow's the biggest game of the year. Go win the football game. Put your head down. Donovan Edwards, just like Donovan Edwards shows up in these big games, Ohio State, all of them, this is the game to show up in. Khalil Mullings, run the ball 100 times. I don't care. Give the ball to Khalil Mullings 100 times. I don't care. You find a way to win. The Michigan defense, too, I think Will Johnson's going to end up playing. I don't see why he wouldn't play. I think the only reason, I don't know if the injury, he's got to play. He's got to play. So I think with the defensive line you have, the defense you have, I know they've struggled a little bit. You have to find a way to win this game tomorrow, and it's going to be on your defense and running the ball. Tomorrow is a must win. It's such a must win. There's nothing else to say about it. You have to win tomorrow to make a bowl game. No ifs, ands, or buts. You can't put a bowl game on Oregon and Ohio State.
What's your confidence level, Boone? 1 to 10 in the quarterback room?
0. Confidence level to win? 10. Run the ball 100 times.
Wow.
Just like you did with Penn State last year, do the same to Michigan State tomorrow.
I hear a lot of copage. A lot of copage going on.
The copage.
There's no copage. I didn't cope once. Said go win the football game. That's not copage. That's a fact. Win the game.
Find a way.
Yeah, it's in Ann Arbor. So you got that going. I mean, they're at home.
It's probably the only thing going for them.
Yeah.
Hung do not bleed.
You still have Sharon Moore on the sideline, so
I think he's already fired, boys. He should be at least.
He got an extension.
You eat it.
Yeah, you gotta eat that. I mean, this dude he ain't it. Yeah, I mean, I like State in this spot. Hey, good old Childs. Hey, you don't know he's coming in this with fresh blood. Jonathan Stewart. I think they shocked the world on Saturday. I think maybe not shock Mike, but
yeah.
I think they go out there, shock the world. I want to see Spenny after that. That dude's gonna be out.
That'd be a toxic environment to be around Spenny if Michigan State wins.
Yeah, he's gonna be a man on a mission, dude. All right, well, Pistons, they stink. That's the facts. So, Tobias Harris, what'd he end with? The great Tobias Harris, 3 for 9.
Hey, that's 20 win Tobias, Boone, right?
Yeah, I mean, Tobias Harris, did not play well today. Did
He's
not.
got 10, Boone.
Well, he's got 10. He's got 10.
Hey, I mean, Cade, for a guy
He's
who's been
special.
somewhat critical on the Pistons, Jesus Christ, man. This guy has 33 points, and they're just still down 12. Like,
You know what he's averaging right now? He's about to be on the season. He's going to average like 29 points after these 2 games. First 2 games, 29 points. 29, 30 points.
The averages for the first 2, like, dude, give it 3 or 4 weeks. I think Cade's the only good thing on this team right now that I'm watching. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, so, gives Cade some help. There's nothing else. You don't have a legit number 2 on this basketball team. And like you're in a league right now to where you need a number 2 and a number 3 elite option. Like, go look at teams that are really good. Like the Mavs. You have Luka and Kyrie, and you've added Clay. Like, name a team. They have 2 or 3 legit
Derek
options.
Lively too.
You have 2 or 3 legit options. I don't care about Derek Lively. I'm talking about legit options. Like, you have legit options on other teams that win and go to the playoffs. They don't have that. They do not. They have nothing. They have Cade, and that's it. But Jaden Ivey, like, maybe Jaden can be a third option, but I'm not convinced yet. Like, I don't. They haven't. I don't know. There's a lot. You have a lot to go here. Tobias is your second option, dude. He was the 4th option in Philly. He was your
easily.
what?
yeah, I know it's early too, but that Isaiah Stewart contract is it's all coming together, just like how I planned it. How that would be terrible. He's what has he got? Like 5 fouls in this game. Had like 3 or 4 last game, 2 points combined in like 30 minutes. The guy's terrible. That was a horrible contract. Jeff, you said he would be a piece on another team. He's not even a piece off our bench. The dude sucks. But that's my piece on it.
Yeah, he played 11 minutes, 0 points.
That's the only dude that got a contract for running after LeBron. Good in spirit, though.
He played 11 minutes, 3 turnovers, no shots taken.
You literally were just getting steps out there, bro. You put up the Tony Snell stat line.
I had to listen to Pistons fans tell me this dude could start at the 5.
Okay, well, here's the thing. All right, everyone. Hey, Jaden Ivey looked very good tonight. He did. He played 29 minutes. He had 22 points. I mean, shot 40% from 3 tonight. He had 16 shot attempts, second to Cade. So we're talking about second option tonight. It was Jaden Ivey. They just lost by. I mean, they're down 10 right now with a minute left, so they're going to lose to the Cavs. But Jaden Ivey's been playing well so far through 2 games. I mean, he didn't shoot well last game, but the shooting, I guess, is something to kind of look forward to. I guess he shot well in the preseason, and he's 2 of 5 tonight. I'm interested. I think Jaden Ivey this year will be the second option. Tobias Harris, the dude needs to be a solid, like, 17 points per game guy. Not looking like that so far. Not looking like that so far. Yeah, he had 13 yesterday or 2 days ago, and he has 10 tonight. So not pretty. Not pretty. We'll be there tomorrow.
Malik Beasley's looked pretty nice.
Yeah, he's
had 10 plus off the bench both games. So
yeah, I mean, the Pistons tonight shot 8 of 13 from 3. I mean, they if you look at their field, I mean, they shot 53% from the field. They just, I mean, the thing you look at immediately is, okay, well, they turned the ball over 13 times to the Cavs 4. You know, like turnovers, foul trouble, like Jalen Duren in foul trouble, Isaiah Stewart in foul trouble. Just like dumb shit, which, you know, whatever. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see tonight. They're at home tomorrow.
Yeah. That great Pacers team that they played, they're down 30 to the Knicks right now. So can always look back on that game. Say that was a good loss.
Well, they had them. The Tyrese
almost had them.
Well, and they still lost. So
basketball's 4 quarters.
Yeah. Then they led majority of that game. They just couldn't close it. So it's tough. Very tough. All right. Well, fellas, give your score predictions before we end the show here.
I mean, Alden Starks already said mine. Said 41-13. Big game out of Jameer. Big game out of David Montgomery. I think Amon-Ra still has like 70 to 80 yards. Could get in the end zone as well. But I think Lions win dominantly. Look a lot like against Dallas.
What'd you say, Klotz?
41-13.
41-13. I want to go
2 goals.
31-17 Lions. Just barely crack Boone's over. But, you know, they win by 2 touchdowns.
So I think this game ends up being where the Lions hit the team total over, obviously. And at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a 20-point game. So I'm going to say 31-10.
Yeah, I mean, this is to me 31-13. I have the same score as the Klotzy, the Titans score, but I have 31 points. So 31-13, Lions get out of there with a win. And it's going to get to a point where you might even see some Hendon Hooker a little bit. I think it might get to that point. So another blowout win for the Lions. Keep it pushing. So that's where I'm at. Detroit Grit, 42-17. Ball don't lie, 31-10, 34-12, 37-14. Everyone has kind of a similar score here. Blowout. Yeah. I mean, now it's like the public saying one thing, 21-34. So he's got 21 points for the Titans. So, I mean, a little higher.
Hey, every one of these, Boone, has the Lions hitting that team total for you.
Yeah, they have
Keep
to.
it rolling.
I don't see this game being – I know the defense is good, but I don't see this game being like a 23-10. I guess it could. I think the Lions offense is going to keep up what they've been doing. So that's where I'm at with it. Let's see. Michael says, mailbag, can we get Bobby Woo Woo? Hashtag come in my hole. Hashtag calm down on a t-shirt on the merch store. Bobby Woo Woo.
Bobby Woo Woo.
Yeah. Actually, that's Valenti's thing. I mean, that's what he said.
Yeah, we can't copyright that for real.
That is hilarious, though. Bobby Woo Woo.
That second hashtag we'll have to pass that one by Boone. See if he's okay with that.
Yeah,
Which one?
You can't put those on shirts here. You just can't.
No.
Keith, 49-6. Okay, blowout. Roman.
Roman says no.
Yeah, the king has spoken. Yeah, let's just not do that.
Tough one to do.
Yeah. Derek says Lions 26-8. Yeah, I mean, we see that one playing out the way you guys see it. It'll be an absolute blowout. Let's see. Detroit Racing says, bro, we trash. We need another star to help Cade out. Real talk. I mean, they do. Yeah, they do. But again, who's out there? I mean, who you getting? It's gonna have to be.
He signed Tobias for what, $30 million? That was supposed to be the dude. I mean, like you said, Jeff, Jaden Ivey's had a decent first game. He's looked good this game. So it's about the other guys, the guys that you brought in, stepping up. Yeah,
I mean, I agree with that. Tobias just has, like I said, he's got to be a 17 points per game guy. He's got to be reliable, and he hasn't played. I don't know, finding whatever it is in this offense. That dude's got to be 17 points per game.
Yeah, it's more than that. I mean, you need a second option. I mean, I don't understand how
he's 17 not going to 20 points per game.
Well, that's where your team's just never going to make the playoffs. Like all these people saying 35 wins, you're not going to win with your second option's averaging 16 or 17.
He's not.
Like, we're in the NBA. This isn't college basketball. They need to go out and get someone who, like. And I know people don't probably want to come to Detroit. You have to go find a second option in Detroit. You have to.
Yeah,
you have to put Cade next to someone. Like again, like that's why it's just like it was so astonishing to me how there are people that are literally like they're going to win 40 games, 35 games. Like guys, this isn't college basketball. Like again, we're in the NBA. Those teams that win 40 plus games and go to the playoffs and are in the play-in games, they have multiple options that can go get 20 plus every night. Like that's just the world you're like. That's the game, the way the game is now. So like I'm shocked. Like what's happening and what they look like. This is a Cavs team that you probably should compete with, and it wasn't even I don't care if the score felt close. It wasn't a game. They're gonna get beat by 20 tomorrow versus the Celtics, and we're gonna have to sit there in attendance. Why I'm putting all of my money on the Celtics and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and all of them. Like. Derek White, everything. I'm putting all their props.
Yeah, to your point, but if they want to be a play-in team, like Jeff said, they were going to be. You got to win games like this. And we obviously didn't watch too much of the game tonight, but Tobias yesterday in the first half of what we watched, or their first game rather, in the first half, he had some success taking it to the rack, and then he kind of just secluded to all jumpers from what I'm seeing. I don't know. Someone could double check. We were obviously on the show while that was going on, so. Got to watch bit and pieces of it, but maybe take it to the rack a little bit more, and then kind of move outside and get the jumper warmed up. But I don't know, maybe a little too much jump shots.
And real quick, let me just say this, please. the second option on the team is not Tobias Harris. It's Jaden Ivey.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he's not averaging 20 plus a game either. Like it's the same point. I'm not saying just Tobias. I'm saying a player who can do that. Neither of them can.
Yeah, they'll probably be both at like I said, 17. I hope Jaden Ivey can get there like 19, 20 points per game. I don't know, but those guys are going to be right around 17 to 19, both of them. To your point, they do need to get someone. I don't know who they get. Everyone would love someone in Detroit to play alongside Cade. It's just how it is. Sure. You see JB, you saw him with Cleveland, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, like their guard, he gets it when now with Jaden Ivey. Yeah, Mobley, of course, yes, but that's how this offense is probably going to be run. It's through those two guards. That's how it's. First option's Cade, obviously he's amazing, and then Jaden Ivey's going to get his 16 to 20 shots a game, and then Tobias just has to be efficient and get you, like I said, 17. If he can shoot the three ball well, which he did tonight, but he didn't do much else.
I do believe what JB Bickerstaff is doing too. I don't want that to get mixed up. I just think it's very well known that you need, like, you look in Cleveland, like compare, like you have Donovan Mitchell, you have Darius Garland, who was an all-star when Donovan Mitchell got there. You have Evan Mobley, who's been all-star. You have Jared Allen. Like you have like 2 or 3 guys who can go get you 20 plus if you need it a night. Like those top 3 guys they have, you can get that 20 plus out of either of them. And you know you're like, but you just don't have that. You're like, yeah, maybe you get 20 from Jaden every once in a while or Tobias every once in a while, but it's not like it's not a Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland type situation. So they need to find a way to get a roster here. I think JB is a perfect coach. I think he's going to be a great coach, and I think Cade could be a number 1 option and be an all-star this year, and he probably will be an all-star this year. It sucks not giving him the opportunity. Like, think about this real quick before we go. Like, they're 0-2 now. Then they play Boston 0-3, Miami 0-4, the Sixers 0-5, New York 0-6. Like, you're going to probably start 0-6 here. Like, where's the win in that? And then you play Brooklyn, like that could be your first win. And then you play the Lakers, and then LaMelo Ball and the Charlotte, and then Atlanta, who's a good team, and then Houston, who's getting better, then Miami, and then the Bucks. Like, it's tough. Like, it's not looking good to start the season already. Like, it's not looking good.
All right, we'll catch you guys.
Reality, I think, just sat in for some people that are watching. They're like, oh, maybe they're not winning 40 games.
They'll win 30 games, I still believe. I think they can get 30.
I'll go max 20. I'll go 20, max 26, 27. Like, if they figure some things out. I think there's a chance they hit the over 24.5, but I'm not going to go into the 30s.
One good thing, they under JB, they have shown a heartbeat defensively. So we'll say that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I love that too. That's great. I love that.
All right, we'll get out of here. We'll see you guys Sunday. Be there, Lions game. We'll have our pregame, watch party, postgame, and yeah, we'll see you guys there. Tune in. Thanks for the support. We'll catch you guys then. Have a safe weekend.